What up, Fight World? Your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Yeah. Cursor, what's up? What's good? Make sure you guys come in, smash the like button. I'm gonna get started in a second. Ellie, what's up? Eli.
It's been a long career, but today is the day. And I thank for the support throughout my career. I love y'all. I'm always going to support this area. But I'm sure it's time for me to hang it up. And I just want to say I appreciate y'all. Thanks a bunch, man. And I couldn't go out a better way at home, main event. And but this will be the last time you see me in the ring. Thanks for everything, man.
Damn. I didn't get to see that part because I jumped on here. Shout out to Lamont Peterson. Good career. Sucks. That's how boxing is. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm seeing something new. Well, as we go, make sure you guys smash the like button. See, I told you this is gonna be weird. Tyson Fury is still talking as if, like, this is insane. He's talking like he didn't, like he's not fighting Tom Schwartz. You know what I'm saying? I gotta find it again. Hold on. How did it? Listen.
See the fight that people. So looking beyond your next fight, obviously the fight.
See, this is what I'm talking about with people with the softball questions. See, this is BT Sport. He says, they're asking Tyson Fury this, and Frank Warren. They said, looking past your next fight. What you mean looking past? He just got his fight announced. He got his fight announced yesterday. Why don't you want to talk about? See, that's what I'm saying, bro. This is the old media stuff. They don't want to talk about it. Like, oh, looking past your old fight. They want to hurry up and speed past that part. They know it's a trash fight, right? This is what I'm talking about. In the UK, I mean, my challenge. I used to live in the UK. I used to live in England. I challenge you guys. I challenge you all. Stand up for boxing. If you guys are such boxing fans, stand up for what's right in boxing. Call a spade a spade. That's what we doing over here in America. And I'm leading the charge. It's not just, if you're American, we just, no matter what look at it. No matter who it is, if Floyd Mayweather did the Gucci thing, you know what I'm saying? I was the first one on here. I was the first one. Floyd's a great, brilliant fighter. I was the first one on here I can't get with that. I can't get behind that. The first one. See, this is what happens. Old media be saying a bunch of shit. They be like, oh, the black channel, all this extra shit. But when somebody's doing wrong in boxing, I'm the first one to talk about it. When Keith Thurman for years didn't want no smoke with Errol Spence, I brought that up. I got videos before all the injuries were public, when Keith Thurman was, saying he didn't want to fight Errol Spence. I was the one talking about it. You know what I'm saying? When Joshua, so it don't matter, American, UK, we all one race, the human race. But y'all got to start holding some people to some standards. It's repulsive almost. It's real repulsive. That's why I get my money, I keep to myself, and I keep it pushing. I have a close family and tight circle, and I just keep it pushing. It's disgusting. It's disgusting what they allow. Keep it real. Just listen to the clip. I didn't even hear the rest of it. This is the first time I'm listening to it, but it says, looking past your next fight. Why? His fight just got announced. Why are you looking past it? Why don't you talk more about Tyson Fury jumping out of negotiation? Why don't you ask it? You got him right in front of you. Ask him and Frank Warren, so you was in negotiation. You had the negotiation and the offer. Wilder said he's offering you 50-50. You let it sit on the desk for nearly a week, and then you spring this news about being with ESPN, and then you tell the WBC that you're not fighting Wilder next, you want a tune-up. Then Bob Arum later comes out and says you want 2 tune-ups, right? And you don't want to now fight Wilder until 2020 in February, courtesy of World Boxing News, an interview with Arum. And then you announce, on top of all of that, you announce Tyson Fury in Vegas versus Tom Schwartz, a guy that happens to be ranked with the sanctioning body that nobody knows, and you label this as a U.S. exposure fight. And then BT Sport, they're interviewing him and say, hey, looking past your next fight. Nah, why don't you talk about Tom Schwartz? What you mean looking past? Just listen.
So looking beyond your next fight, obviously the fight that people want to see is the rematch of Wilder. Can you see that happening anytime soon?
How soon do you call soon? Tomorrow, the next day, the next week, next month, next year? It's got to happen, you know. It was a great fight. Me and Wilder put on a good show.
What is that? Listen to that. He says, how soon would you call soon? It's a direct question. You know, most of us have a general concept of what soon is. And Tyson Fury says, how soon would you call soon? Unbelievable. And then people wonder why the title of my video says Tyson Fury happily ducks Wilder. Listen, he said, how soon would you call soon? They said, hey, looking past your next fight, because nobody cares about the Tom Schwartz fight like that, you know, how soon do you call soon? Like, come on, just listen.
So looking beyond your next fight, obviously the fight that people want to see is the rematch of Wilder. Can you see that happening anytime soon?
How soon do you call soon? Tomorrow, the next day, the next week, next month, next year? It's got to happen, you know. It was a great fight. Me and Wilder put on a good show, so the fight's got to happen sooner or later.
Sooner or later.
It won't be next, as we know, because I'm fighting Tom Schwartz and he's fighting Dominic Brazil, so hopefully we get it on after that.
And Frank, anything to add to that?
No, it's Tyson's making his debut on ESPN in the States, so it's a big platform for him. Tremendous exposure. He'll be the most well-known heavyweight out there being on that platform, so it's a great...
Okay, Frank Warren says he'll be the most well-known heavyweight by fighting Tom Schwartz. Listen, people, new media is here, bro. People got the game so twisted. ESPN is a huge network. You know, we all know that. That doesn't mean just because you're signed to a big-ass network that an undesirable fight now becomes a spotlight fight. Because ESPN, how come Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez has fought Jesse Hart twice on ESPN? They were good fights. They were, you know, they weren't received like Tom Schwartz and Tyson Fury. And he ain't no household name. He ain't big as Canelo. And you have that big engine at ESPN behind it. How come there's writers and boxing, you know, reporters with ESPN, and then we go to the fight, me, little old me on YouTube, I get more love. People taking pictures with me. I don't have no big, you know, ESPN battery in my back. I'm not writing for, you know, articles and with a major website. Stop it. You know, he's saying that he's going to be the biggest heavyweight. You know, look at the money. How many people would tip, you know, some of these other writers just because you work for ESPN? You think if what you're saying is some bullshit, people are going to, like, support in that way? Shout out to Teddy Fresh, $10 super chat. The Vampire Stream on you hoes, East Coast. So, yes, ESPN, we all know, is a big network, a big platform, but that don't make you a superstar because you happen to be on a channel that's big.
Big platform for him, tremendous exposure. No, it's you know, Tyson's making his debut on ESPN in the States, so it's a big platform for him, tremendous exposure. He'll be the most well-known heavyweight out there being on that platform, so it's a great move for him politically. And it will help deliver and make the fights that we all want to see. We all want to see those unification matches, and this gives us a big place at the table. Along with BT's clout, we'll get there.
Of course, Deontay reckons you don't want to fight him again.
Deontay can go and... Not going to say what he can go and do, but, you know, Deontay already got beat by me in LA, so the world knows it. No interest in him at all. The fight happens. If it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't...
See, he just says, me and Wilder put on a good show. This is the same interview, people. This is my first time hearing it, so you get my actual natural reaction. I just seen that. The video that I'm doing right now was about a Wilder interview that I just watched, and I wanted to get on here. This is all live. You know, I didn't even hear this. Okay, so the interview just started. So you actually, like I said, you get my live reaction. Let's break it down. And see, this is how good I am at my job. New media. This is my very first time hearing it. You know, I put that on anything. I haven't listened to this. I was actually trying to queue up this Wilder interview, and then I seen that on my Twitter, and this is my first time listening to it, and I'm already finding loopholes. So he started this interview, and he says, me and Wilder put on a good show. He says, how soon is soon? You know, the rematch will happen. And then, you know, since nobody cares about this Tom Schwartz fight, the interviewer asks him about a Wilder rematch and says, hey, because Wilder reckons you don't want to fight him in a rematch. And then now, because what Wilder said was an insult, now he's trying to retaliate. And he says, oh, Wilder, he could go, you know, I'm not going to say what he could go do, but Wilder knows I beat him in L.A. And he just said, Wilder, you know, basically Wilder could go fuck himself. Wilder knows I beat him in L.A. The whole world knows I beat him, and I have no interest in him. Come on, bro. That doesn't even make sense. Like, real talk. Let's be, you know, put, you know, new media, old media and shit. Put that aside. How does that make sense? You just said we put on a good event. This is how you started the interview. You said we put on a good event. It was a good show, you know. And then when you're replying to, you know, a negative jab or whatever that Wilder threw, said, hey, you don't want no smoke, which is absolutely true. You say basically Wilder could go fuck himself, cut yourself off, and then you say, oh, I have no interest in him. You know, but you just said the rematch will happen. I don't know when soon is soon. He's fighting Brazil. I'm fighting Tom Schwartz, but it will happen. And then now you're trying to retaliate, you know? You got to listen to what people said. He just said, I have no interest in him. But in the same breath before that, he said the rematch will happen, and it was a good show. So why do you have no rematch? You have no interest. Frank Warren just said the rematch could happen and unifications will happen, but they're, you know, trying to build up. And now you say you don't have no interest in them. Horrible.
Along with BT's clout, we'll get there.
Of course, Deontay reckons you don't want to fight him again.
Deontay can go and, I'm not going to say what he can go and do, but, you know, Deontay already got beat by me in LA, so the world knows it. No interest in him at all. The fight happens. If it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, he already lost, and he knows it. His promoter knows it. His trainer lost. His trainer left ringside before the decision got announced. So Deontay's a nobody. You know, let's face it, he was a nobody before he fought me. He lost to me, he's still a nobody, so it is what it is. No interest in talking about the bum. And what about big bum dosser? That's all he is. And what about AJ?
Hey, I don't know what happened in that 12th round, but this is like Tyson Fury's talking like a whole different person. You know, real talk. He's talking like he's a different person. You know, he says no one knows. This is crazy, bro. Like what you guys accept as fans, like this is uncanny. He just said nobody knows Wilder except for me. But in my view, Wilder resurrected Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was the one binge partying and had the cocaine thing. Well, he was the one fighting Safiri and Pianetta and these different people like that. Wilder was the one coming off the Luis King Kong Ortiz at the Barclay with 15,000 people, you know, which is good for American standard, American venues and stuff like that. It's a different market, so please don't tell me, you know, how many people came out to the UK with a whole different infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? And Wilder's the champion, and he's talking about I have no interest in him, and I made him, and he's a nobody without me. And then even if you look at that, like going forward, he's a nobody, but the way Wilder Brazil, which is a mandatory, the press conference I was there, the way that's being received isn't as awful as the way, you know, Tyson Fury. Out of the big three, Tyson Fury has the worst fight, and that's the reception. And he's saying, I'm the big star, and I don't know, this sounds crazy to me. It sounds like, you know, I should watch, like, Victor Ortiz used to say, like, some weird stuff, talk about, like, Maidana's a pussy, and then Maidana made you quit. He was like, Floyd's a pussy, and then Floyd stopped you. Like, this is sounding, like, deluded. And listen,
Deontay already got beat by me in LA, so the world knows it. No interest in him at all. The fight happens. If it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, he already lost. And he knows it. His promoter knows it. His trainer lost. His trainer left ringside when before.
he says he already knows he lost. He lost. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, oh well. Because he knows he lost. Okay.
The decision got announced. So Deontay's a nobody. You know, let's face it, he was a nobody before he fought me. He lost to me, he's still a nobody, so it is what it is. No interest in...
Wow. I mean, that just sounds insane. Like, first of all, like, see, this is the thing with new media. You can't write your own history. Like, okay, you think you beat him. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, make sure y'all smash the like button. Anyway, the thing is this. You can't rewrite history. Like, the judges, Wilder's not a judge. The judges said it was a draw. I personally scored it a draw with the 2 knockdowns. And, you know, there was limited activity in the first 4 rounds. And I think Wilder won some of those rounds, right? Tyson Fury wasn't doing much but feinting and, you know, trying to set up his game plan or whatever, right? And Wilder was landing power shots, good body shots, etc. Right? Some people even have Wilder winning, which is definitely not out of the question because it just depends how many rounds you gave him in the first 4 rounds. Granted, Wilder was getting outboxed in the middle rounds, but Tyson Fury, listen, just listen to simple logic, right? Simple logic. This is, and once again, this is why I keep telling you guys, this is why, like, I'm giving you everything I know. My success is from being myself and being honest with the public and being truthful. So even if I get something wrong, the public fucks with me because, you know, as I take it like a man and I bounce back. But more often than not, I get it right. You know, I'm not like way off the mark. Listen to what I said immediately after the fight, and I'm not changing it now because I still feel the same way. Just listen to what they said. People keep saying Tyson Fury put this masterclass boxing exhibition and it was, you know, impeccable boxing. He outlanded Wilder by 13 punches. That is not masterclass boxing. Masterclass boxing is what Errol Spence did with Mikey Garcia. Errol Spence per CompuBox landed like 350 to 365 punches, and a lot of those were strong jabs or power punches, right? Mikey Garcia landed less than 100, 65 to 73. That's masterclass because everything Mikey is normally good at was nullified. Tyson Fury, we knew he was a better boxer, pure boxer, fundamental boxer than Wilder. But you clearly did not nullify Deontay Wilder from doing what he does because he did what he does in those rounds and knocked you down, and then in the 12th round nearly knocked you out. So you didn't, that's not masterclass boxing. That was good boxing. And then it, like, basically, like I said, Floyd Mayweather, Juan Manuel Marquez has no answers for Floyd Mayweather. He got knocked down. You know, it never got better for him. Arturo Gatti, rest in peace, Mayweather. It never got better. Diego Corrales versus Mayweather. These are masterclass boxing clinics. You know, and usually you see the masterclass boxer befuddle, confuse the other person and start to pull away more and more in a true masterclass. Tyson Fury only landed 13 more punches, and he didn't land the harder shots. He never knocked Wilder down, never had him badly hurt. Do we have any shooters in the building? Shooters, you guys got to police the comment section. Y'all got this Spike Spiegel dude, you know, trying to come for me. I don't have time for it. So shooters, handle that. Thank you, Cursor. Appreciate you. I don't have time for the little games. I got a lot of stuff to do, and I'm trying to talk to real fans and my people. Anyway, that wasn't masterclass boxing because he wouldn't have got floored in 2 rounds late. You know, if he was a masterclass, like Errol Spence, that was a masterclass. He put on a clinic. It got worse and worse and worse for Mikey Garcia, punctuated by, you know, the later rounds. Mikey Garcia, his best round was round 2 or something. But then, you know, as the masterclass boxer, the skilled boxer Errol Spence kept fighting, he kept doing more of what he wanted and kept discouraging Mikey, you know. And then the later round 9 and 10, they're thinking about they were thinking about throwing in the towel type shit. Wilder's team wasn't thinking about throwing. No, it's cool, Cursor. And it's not your fault that, you know, people act like idiots. But I'm just saying, like, you might have to hold it down because you might be the only shooter here. But anyway, there was no point in time that Wilder's team would have been needing or considering throwing in the towel. You go look at the Showtime All Access. I ain't never seen Jay Diaz or Mark or Breland, you know what I'm saying, talk about, oh man, Wilder getting whooped in there, we got to throw in the towel. You know, Barry Hunter today with Lamont Peterson, which is like his son, threw, you know, in the towel. Wilder was never in any position. He was like getting outboxed in spots, fine. But there was never any moments like that. So stop it. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Fluffy Boy. He said it can't be really a masterclass boxing clinic when Wilder introduces you to the canvas twice. That's what I'm saying. Like, where did that come from? If you schooling somebody and like whipping them up, it's like usually it becomes harder and harder for them to figure out if you're really doing a match. Like Arturo Gotti, as the fight wore on, it kept, you know, Gotti was just taking more and more punches from Floyd Mayweather, you know. And now he's talking about Wilder's a nobody. So Wilder has a real belt that's recognized, pays sanction and fees actively, you know. I've been at fights. He's getting recognized and people are yelling bomb squad. His fight is better. Anthony Joshua has real belts, right? His fight is better with Gerald Miller. And Tyson Fury's up here talking about Wilder was a nobody before I fought him and a nobody after. It just like it doesn't even sound like it sounds delusional. So you were the guy who got banned for 3 years, was doing coke, dealt with mental health issues, disappeared for a while, gained a lot of weight, and now he's trying to convince. See, that's the difference when people say stuff that they actually mean versus just talking and just to say something. You can't honestly believe that Wilder was a nobody before you, and he had always been doing what he's been doing in his career, you know, taking whatever fight, knocking dudes out. You were the one that came in as an underdog. That's why more people didn't probably buy the pay-per-view. You know, like this pay-per-view could have did probably 750 or more thousand, but people didn't think Tyson Fury would be ready, and Wilder's a knockout artist. So, you know, a lot of people were like, man, fuck that. I'm not going to spend my money on this. I'm going to stream it. And then now Tyson Fury's talking about Wilder was a nobody. But you were in dire straits. You were the guy who had fought Francisco Pianeta and Safiri in like little known fights. So like it doesn't even sound. It sounds delusional. I'm just telling it straight up. It sounds delusional. You talking about Wilder was a nobody. Wilder was coming off the heels of beating Luis King Kong Ortiz. Fury was coming off the heels of binge drinking and partying and coke, suspended, had to lose a bunch of weight that he gained, and then fighting Safiri and Francisco Pianeta. So, like I said before, all that cute stuff and the one-liners that Tyson Fury normally says, nobody's buying it because it doesn't even sound believable at this point. You know, and then like I said, on top of that, in this particular interview, he said the rematch will happen. And then when he got offended with responding to Wilder saying he avoided the rematch, he says, I don't care if it happens, it happens. The world knows I beat him, which we're going to get into that too.
And make the fights that we all want to see. We all want to see those unification matches, and this gives us a big place at the table. Along with BT's clout, we'll get there.
So Frank Warren just said we all want to see those matches. The rematch, I think, will happen. We want to see those unifications. Now listen to, again, what Fury said. He says, I don't care if it happens, it happens.
Of course, Deontay reckons you don't want to fight him again.
Deontay, I'm not going to say what he can go and do, but, you know, Deontay already got beat by me in LA, so the world knows it. No interest in him at all. The fight happens. If it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, he already lost, and he knows it. His promoter knows it. His trainer lost. His trainer left ringside when before the decision got announced. So Deontay's a nobody. You know, let's face it, he was a nobody before he fought me. He lost to me, he's still a nobody, so it is what it is. No interest in talking about the bum.
And what about
Big bum dosser, that's all he is.
and what about AJ as well?
Another even bigger dosser. I tell you what I can do with them two, yeah? I can give them a job carrying my boots and bags. So when they've all been busted very soon, when they fight each other and knock lumps off each other, yeah, and they get beat up and they lose and their career's over, they can come to the Gypsy King and I'll employ them. Because let's face it, they've not got the most brains in the world. So I'll give them a job when they've spent all the money because it's coming. Very sharp. When they're all skint, I'll employ his boys, don't worry. Bring his over, you can brush up the drive. No problem, pick a few leaves up.
And when you
Sign a few autographs on my behalf. Carry me bags, claim me pool, feed me animals and pick up the dog. Because that's all you'll be good for.
See, now, like, I'm being honest. Before, when Tyson Fury used to say that, the stuff it was actually funny because of, you know, you're like, oh, he's undefeated, you know, He's you know, he's the Gypsy King. He's about to fight Wilder off of 2 tune-ups. This stuff doesn't even sound believable anymore. Now it's not even like funny. His only people laughing are him and his team. You know what I'm saying? That like it's not even fun. Like he's just talking crazy now. Like you know, saying Wilder and Joshua can, you know, plow snow off the driveway and carry his bags and stuff. That's not even funny anymore because again, AJ and Wilder, they're not necessarily being laughed at for their upcoming fight. Of course, everyone wants to see Wilder versus Joshua, Joshua versus Fury, Joshua, Wilder, blah, blah, blah. But their fights aren't being received like Tom Schwartz. You know, they actually have active belts where they pay sanction and fees for, not just this, you know, lineal championship. You know, this sound like it actually sounds kind of embarrassing, to be honest. You know, and like I said, all these like quick one-liners and quips and witty remarks, it's not even effective. The interview is from BT Sport. They just posted it. So, you know, and he started the interview saying, yeah, you know, the rematch will happen. And then when the guy asked him about, hey, Wilder says you ducking, basically, then he switched it and says, I don't care. If it happens, it happens. Another thing that makes absolutely no sense, right? Another thing that makes absolutely no sense is peep this. Listen, I'm putting I don't have the time. I don't have the patience. I'm putting, if you try to answer this and you want to go tit for tat with Ego's Army, bring it. You will be in the hot seat. We can do this debate. I'm with it. I'm ready. Name a time historically where somebody in boxing felt they won 10 or more rounds, got robbed, really won the fight, were the real champion and got robbed by the judges, were not okay with the draw, and then they said stuff like, if it happens, it happens. If the rematch doesn't happen, oh well, because I already beat him. That to me sounds like the mindset of somebody who narrowly escaped and he's happy with the moral victory. If you guys can think of any time in boxing history where the fighter thought he got robbed, won 10 rounds or better, 10, 11, 12 out of 12, anything like that, 10 rounds or better in a 12-round championship fight, but didn't want the rematch and was okay not taking the rematch, then let me know who that fighter was. And then send me a clip of what they said like that. Because I can't think of any other time where somebody felt they got robbed. Like, wouldn't your natural inclination, especially if it was a big fight and it was a big money fight, wouldn't your natural inclination be to fuck the person up again? Like, man, I know I'm better than this dude. I'm going to show y'all. Y'all want to rob me the first time? You know, get back in that training camp, tighten up a few things, and you want to put even more of a hurting on that person. That sounds like somebody who narrowly escaped, got a moral victory, and he's satisfied with the public opinion maybe being that he won. But I don't remember any other time in history in a close fight, whether the person won or lost. You know, like Sugar Ray Leonard lost to Roberto Duran, but being the true competitor that Sugar Ray Leonard is, 8 months later, he rematched Duran and he beat him, and he made Roberto Hands of Stone Duran no mas. He made him quit, came a new, better game plan. Canelo just moved up, fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. You know, the pressure was on Canelo to fight Golovkin. The fight, just like Wilder Fury, ended in a draw, controversially. What did Canelo do? They were supposed to fight in May, but he failed a drug test. But his first fight back, who did Canelo fight? Triple G. Because Canelo, in his mind, was like, man, fuck all that. You guys are saying it's not a draw. Some of y'all are saying that he beat me. I'm going to show you I'm better than him. Canelo came with a different game plan and was walking Triple G down. You know, towards the end, the fight got kind of good, but Canelo still took the work. Triple G, same thing. Triple G said, yo, hey, no, guys, I beat this guy. That wasn't no draw. You know, I'm the champ. I don't even know who scored it a draw. That's some bullshit. Triple G fought Canelo again, especially in a high-profile fight where you're going to make more money in the rematch, you know. Sergey Kovalev, he, in his mind, thought he beat Andre Ward and was better than Andre Ward. Yo, I knocked him down. I boxed well. I hit him with hard shots and power shots. I had a great jab. I'm better than Ward. Andre Ward felt the same way. What did they do? Had an immediate rematch. I have never seen somebody who claims robbery, claims to have went the distance, but won 10, 11, or 12 rounds in a 12-round fight, that says if the rematch happens, it happens. Wouldn't you be pursuing that? Especially since you felt you got robbed and you didn't get to collect the green belt that would help establish you, and, you know, you be the lineal champ, plus you have the WBC. Wouldn't you want to rematch that person? Like, yo, you got to give me that belt. Just like Canelo, right? Kovalev lost his, you know, appreciate you, L. Kovalev lost his belts, so he's like, fuck that, I need my belts back. So he tried it. Carl Froch and George Groves, shout out to John Doe. Exactly. George Groves thought it was a premature stoppage. Like, yo, I was beating this man up. I'm better than him. So he rematched him. Tyson Fury is the first fighter that I can think of that is saying and claiming, hey, the public, he's happy going with the public opinion. Pacquiao and Marquez, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I can't think of one single solitary time. Marquez was wearing T-shirts saying, I beat Pacquiao twice. Y'all see, I know my boxing. Marquez really believed he was fucking Pacquiao up, so the rematches kept happening. They had 4 of them. Oh my God. John Doe's, you know, he's Eagles Army to the death. He said Floyd, Jose Luis Castillo, same concept. Exactly. Oscar De La Hoya versus Julio Cesar Chavez. You know, like, man, I'm better than this dude. They rematch. Rematches that don't happen is when you're typically happy with the draw. You're like Canelo versus Edeslandi Lara. That didn't happen because that's an ugly style for Canelo and he has problems with it. Pernell Whitaker versus Julio Cesar Chavez. They left it as a draw because they knew that wasn't a good stylistic matchup. You know, neither record was affected with the actual one, you know, the deduction. So guess what? They just left it at that. That's the only time you see that happen is when the person, you know, Brandon Rios, Richard Abreu, when the person, you know, they barely escape and they're like, man, I don't want to go through that again. And, you know, subsequently, you know, this is what Wilder, this is why he said something to Andre Ward, because Andre Ward predicted or said, hey, you know, I don't know if Wilder want to go through that again, but it's actually Tyson Fury that don't want to go through it again, or wants to wait and build up. Shout out to John Doe, my dude. Oh my gosh, you guys are good. Cursor, I appreciate the birthday wishes. God bless you guys. That's what I'm saying. Bro, he said DC and John Jones. Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver. They fought like 3 times. Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins. Bernard's like, man, I was young back then. I could beat him. And then Bernard Hopkins beat him. Conor fucking McGregor versus Nate Diaz. Nate made him submit, right? Made him submit. Made him tap out. And Conor, being a man's man and being who, I don't know what the fuck you thinking. He rematched Nate Diaz. You know, I'm not saying necessarily trilogies and 4 fight, but at least the rematch. You know, Conor was like, fuck, I was doing good in there. I was stinging him with strikes. Let me in there again. And then he at least fought him a second time. At least did it. Even Derek Chisora, Dillian White, and they on a British level. Exactly. I thought Derek Chisora beat him. That's like, why would he not want to fight? Even though he got stretched by Dillian White in the rematch, of course he's going to want to take the rematch. He thought he beat Dillian White. You guys are doing an awesome job with the example. That's what I'm saying. So what Tyson Fury is saying sounds insane right now. This is the only time I've heard it. That shows me you're happy with the moral victory. That shows me that. You're happy with the public opinion being what it is. You know, you want time to get better or take softer touches, stuff like that. That's crazy. Mayweather Maidana showed you, you know, we could do this all day. If you think you're better than someone, I ain't never seen someone turn their back to the idea of the rematch. I mean, even on a hood level, like there's been people like, they're like, I'm faster than you, and I race them, and if they beat me, I'm like, fuck that, run that back. You know what I'm saying? I just talked to Adrian Broner, Spence Garcia week. Got it on video too. AB has wanted the Maidana rematch for years because Maidana beat him, and they said, "Hey, Maidana's coming back. What you think?" He was like, oh man, you know AB. You know, he's like, I'm happy he's back. I want that rematch. That's what Broner just said, and he lost to Maidana. That was his first professional loss. Maidana clearly hits hard, and he still years later wants a Maidana rematch. But Tyson Fury is saying if it happens, it happens after 5 seconds before. This sounds like almost bipolar behavior, to be honest. Froch Grove, that's what I'm saying. I ain't never seen nobody that said, I already beat him. He already has a loss, even though they didn't award you the victory. And they just said, oh, he already has a loss and the fans know it. Who does that when you didn't get the belt from it? You didn't get credit for the victory. Name a time that's happened, you know, where the person thought they won easy, 10 rounds to 12, you know, or 10 out of 12. That's pretty much winning easy. Yeah, shooters, just let me know. Channel members, actually, not shooters, channel member. Let me know what emojis y'all need. Y'all getting bored with the emojis. I gotta switch them. Richie's Gaming, block him. He said AB is trash now. Bro, you way off the mark. You way off the mark. I don't have time for it right now. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? We use an example. Get him out of here. Richie's Gaming. Go play some games. Go play Call of Duty. You're not ready for my channel. I'm blocking everything. I don't care. I like that. People, oh, Eagle, block me, Eagle. Good. It's my birthday too. I'm blocking everything. We having a birthday block bash. You know, y'all gonna learn about leaving these senseless comments. You know, he's just saying whatever. Oh, brother, he's trash. What does that got to do nothing? Like, that's what I'm saying. They always want to distract from the actual issue at hand. Cognitive dissonance. Exactly, bro. You know, they always do that passive aggressive shit. Like, you know, like when I did that, I was talking about Tyson Fury fighting. I was like, he could have fought this guy, this guy, this guy. He could have fought Shannon Briggs. He could have fought this guy. I named like 18 guys Tyson Fury could have fought instead of Tom Sawyer. And then he was like, but Shannon Briggs can't pass a medical. You purposely missing the point. It's not about Shannon Briggs, even though that's a way better fight than Tom Schwartz. Round trip. All right, we're going to send you on a one-way. Block him. He said I'm bougie. Yep. I told you I'm having a birthday blocking bash and you invited. So round trip, we're going to send you on a one-way. Keep talking crazy in this comment section. I'm not with the smoke. I mean, I'm with the smoke. I'm not with the games right now. Yeah, I got your bougie. Shooters, block him. Someone said, Ego the blockness monster. I'm done. I'm done. Hey, y'all tripping right now. You know, y'all gotta keep up. He said no. Yeah, you getting blocked, bro. How you gonna yell no? Why? And these dudes be hit me on Twitter. Hey man, you blocked me for no reason, bro. I'm not with the name calling and all that shit right now. You can do it. You getting blocked. That's what it is. Yeah, it's my birthday. Thank you. Anyway, I ain't never seen that. If you think you okay. listen, people. I told you, new media, we came to eat. In Tyson Fury's mind, or at least what he's telling. Hey, Cursor is so full. Real Brother 32, I appreciate you. In Tyson Fury's mind, from what he's telling people, he beat Wilder easy, 10 rounds to 2. That's what he just said, right? He said the world knows it. He beat him. If the rematch happens, it happens. If it doesn't, oh well, Wilder's a nobody. That's what he said. So, once again, in the history of boxing, or just fight sport, you could use UFC, you know, when have you ever seen somebody who, you know, especially if they got knocked down crucially, but when have you ever seen someone who believes they won 10 rounds to 2, the fight went the distance, and the guy who they're saying only won 2 rounds and lost was in pursuit to the fight more than them. The guy, so Wilder, I just seen an interview and he said he wanted the rematch. You know what I'm saying? So why would the guy who lost and only won 2 rounds be saying, I want the rematch, I want the rematch? Even days later, because I was on the conference call. I don't know if you guys really mess with the channel, but PBC sent me an email, and 2 days after the fight in December, they had a conference call. And Wilder explained. He explained that how he wanted the Tyson Fury rematch. So once again, if what Tyson Fury is saying is true, he won 10 rounds to 2, why would the guy who won 2 rounds want the rematch more than you? So you beat him easy. Shout out to Destroyer, 10 pound super chat. Appreciate you. He said birthday love. Shout out to all my Aries. Shout out to the March babies, Aries and Pisces. Appreciate y'all. But, you know, I don't want to get distracted from the subject at hand. You know, it's just another day for me. But when have you seen that? So the guy who won 2 rounds, according to you, wants the rematch, and he's dying for the rematch. And the guy who won 10 rounds says if it happens, it happens. I don't, you know, he's a nobody. When have you ever seen that happen in fighting sports? I can't see, as a competitor. I'm very competitive, very. And I can't understand that. And I can't see who would do that. I can't understand why somebody, as a true competitor, would say, I beat him easy, but I didn't reap the actual reward other than what he feels is the fans and public opinion, right? But I didn't get the actual belt. And then the other guy wants to run it back, and I'm saying if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, oh well, he lost and he knows it. It's not a good look. Then you're talking crazy about AJ and Wilder. You're talking crazy about AJ and Wilder, and they have better fights than you. Listen.
Oh, it's you know, Tyson's making his debut on ESPN in the States. So it's a big platform for it. Tremendous exposure. He'll be the most well-known heavyweight out there being on that platform. So it's a great move for him politically, and it will help deliver and make the fights that we all want to see. We all want to see those unification matches, and this gives us a big place at the table. Along with BT's clout, we'll get there.
Of course, Deontay reckons you don't want to fight him again.
Deontay going, not going to say what he can go and do, but, Deontay already got beat by me in LA, so the world knows it. No interest in him at all. The fight happens. If it happens...
You just hear that? He says, Deontay Wilder got beat in LA. I have no interest in him. If it happens, it happens.
Deontay already got beat by me in LA, so the world knows it. No interest in him at all. The fight happens. If it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, he already lost. And he knows it. His promoter knows it. His trainer lost. His trainer left ringside.
Like I said, once again, before we move on, when have you ever seen that? When have you ever seen the loser, according to Tyson Fury, the guy, even though it was a draw, but the guy he deemed a loser, and he's starving for the rematch, and says he wants it and is candidly, and then the guy who believes he won easy and was robbed is saying if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, oh well, the world knows I beat him. I've never seen Gennady Golovkin. I'm using recent examples as well. Golovkin, in his heart of all hearts, thought he beat Canelo in the first fight. I think he beat Canelo in the first fight. It was close, closer than, I always say it's closer than people were making it out to be. But I still would have given it to Golovkin, right? He thought he got robbed. So, of course, Golovkin wants the rematch. And he let you know that he wants the rematch. Even when Canelo failed a drug test, he still wanted the rematch, right? But Tyson Fury says, Wilder got beat in L.A. The whole world knows it. Everybody knows it. I beat him easy, 10 rounds to 2. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Sounds weird. Sounds real weird to me. Vaughn D. Gaming, appreciate you. $10 super chat. Happy birthday, brother. Keep killing them. Man, this is easy work. This is easy work. I just never seen that. I never seen somebody who... This the real deal. This the real deal. Easy work. Never claimed somebody who felt they got robbed that wasn't open to the rematch. Now, I've seen rematches not happen, and that's usually when a fighter like Danny Garcia versus Mauricio Herrera. Mauricio Herrera, it's not like he said he didn't want a rematch, but Danny Garcia's team was probably just happy to have escaped with the victory, so they probably didn't want a rematch in that fight. So that's a little bit different. But Mauricio Herrera felt he got... I've interviewed Mauricio Herrera, and he told me he wanted a rematch. I got the rematch somewhere. So, I got the interview somewhere. So he told me he wanted a rematch. That's what I'm saying. You never see Mauricio Herrera talking about he don't want to... I don't know about now, but I'm talking about closer to when that fight happened. Of course he wanted to rematch David Benavidez. Even fights like Jose Benavidez versus Terrence Crawford, Jose Benavidez just being who he is, he probably wants to rematch Crawford because he probably feels in his mind he was in there and he got stopped in the 12th round. So that probably doesn't sit well for him. That's what I'm saying. That's what any competitor would do. Especially if you thought you won. Yeah, Wilder versus Brazil's tickets just went on sale. So to me, it sounds like Tyson Fury is content that he got the moral victory, or the public's on his side and he's happy to just move on. And then the reason it's even worse, this is the worst possible combination of things, because aside from what he's saying, which sounds like insane, is he's fighting Tom Schwartz. So that's also not okay, let's say fuck Wilder. Okay, fuck him. You beat him easy. I'm just playing devil's advocate, people. You beat Wilder easy. I'm acting like I believe what Tyson Fury is trying to feed the public. Okay, you beat Wilder easy. You outboxed him 10 rounds to 2. He's a bum dosser, and you destroyed him, and the whole world knows it. So you're the lineal champion. Fuck Wilder. You beat him easy. Why don't you go back to, just defining your legacy in top level competition outside of Wilder? You get what I'm saying? So, okay, that's cool. You already got, in your mind, you got past Wilder and you beat him easy and the world knows it. Okay, fine. So that chapter's done in your mind. Fine. Using your logic. Fine. Why are you fighting Tom Schwartz? If you really believe all that stuff you just said, that's cool. Cool, you got past Wilder. Everyone in the world knows it. Why are you fighting someone who's ranked number 42 on BoxRec? Someone who's not even ranked number 1 in the region he's from which is Germany, and I can't think of even that many German heavyweights. How many German heavyweights that are like current, that are active, can you guys think of? You know, like I said, this is not a good look because none of it's really making sense. You got past Wilder, the world knows it, fine. So you move on to your career. You're the lineal champ. You're still undefeated. You know, the draw should have been a win, fine. So why wouldn't you just go about your business and go back to upper echelon competition even outside of Wilder? Why would you be fighting Tom Schwartz, a guy who has no identity in the United States, as a U.S. exposure fight? Tommy boy, exactly. That doesn't even make sense, and we know this. That's what I'm saying. You can't play new media. You know that doesn't make sense. Because you should be pursuing Joshua. Okay, you already knocked Wilder off in your mind. You should pursue Dillian White. He's doing very well for himself right now. You already got past Wilder. Everyone knows it, right? So fight Dillian White. He's coming to ESPN. That's what they say. Fight Luis King Kong Ortiz. You got past Wilder. So you see, this is why new media continues to win. Because even if I implore your logic, the logic you're saying still doesn't make sense. So you have, as a top-level heavyweight, you have this checklist. In your mind, Wilder was on it. You fought him. He's off the list. The whole world knows in LA you beat him. That's what you think. Then you would go on with fighting, you know, probably top 15 guys as a lineal champion, right? But you're fighting Tom Schwartz. That's nobody believes this. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I'm figure of speech. Nobody believes that. Because that's not the mentality, and that's not the motion. Like, it's a bad look, people. And like I said, I'm going to go out of my way to give these American fighters, even including black American fighters that are doing it right, credit for what they're doing. Case in point. Errol Spence fought a guy who was barking up his tree, Mikey Garcia. He did what I knew he was capable of, but a lot of you guys said he couldn't outbox Mikey and he was going to lose, right? He gets past him. Who is Errol Spence talking about fighting? Oh, that's right. He said Manny Pacquiao. I'll give him that retirement check he looking for. He said Sean Porter could get it, you know. He trying to act bold now. He could get it. He got past you guys. He can get it. Keith Thurman still could get it, man down. That is the behavior of a true champion who's winning and in their mind believes they won and is in pursuit to etch out their history and their greatness. Errol Spence, you can't fool new media. Errol Spence, he letting his nuts hang. Pause. It's a figure of speech, but he letting his nuts hang. His confidence is at an all-time high. His chest is poked out. He feeling like the man on the block. He probably just went and got a new piece from the jeweler. That's what I'm talking about. Because he just beat down Mikey Garcia, a great fighter, you know, who some people think could have beat him. So he's like, who's next? He on the Samuel Peter. Who next? Same thing with Terrence Crawford. That is the mentality of people when they know in their heart they won, or they the man, or, you know, they had a good performance. What Tyson Fury is doing is not indicative of that historically. I have not seen anybody in the sport of boxing who thought that they beat the champion, you know, 10 rounds to 2, despite getting brutally knocked down in the final round, and they regressed in competition to the level of a Tom Schwartz when they know in their heart they got robbed. Stop it. Stop it. Because, again, well, actually, I have seen it like in I can't even say Tom Schwartz level, but I would say, like, here's the thing. Triple G did fight Vanes Matarosen, but he signed up to fight Canelo, and Canelo failed a drug test, so that's a little bit different. Canelo failed a drug test, so the fight got postponed. So Triple G he just had a training camp. He just wanted to fight somebody, and he didn't want to have to fight a tough fight that could get in the way of him rematching Canelo or make him look bad and fuck up his Canelo money. So that's a little bit different, but typically you don't see that. You don't see somebody who thinks they got robbed, you know, and then their next fight they regress in competition to somebody, you know, unheralded and unheard of, to the point of a Tom Schwartz. Tyson's next fight is going to make him look bad and turn a lot of fans against him. It's not even just his fight, it's his attitude. It's like what he's saying, because it doesn't sound realistic. Now, I can't control anybody else but me. I can't control IFL or, you know, UK channels or whoever. But my thing is, I think the UK, USA, everybody needs to stand up to make boxing a better place, ask the tough questions, you know, really get answers, because some of this stuff doesn't, you guys allow fighters to say, you know, whatever they want, even if you know in your heart it doesn't make sense, and you don't even ask follow-up questions to be like, yo, you know, that's why I give props to, like, even Ness. He was talking to Dominic Brazil. Dominic Brazil was saying some, you know, extraordinary things, and Ness was like, he was like, wait, you have a better resume than Wilder? Like, he was just asking, like, you know, you really fit follow-up questions. You know, you got to give respect to that. You know, like, if somebody's up here saying stuff and, you know, it doesn't really sound like universal. Like me, I let people talk. That's cool. But if somebody starts saying stuff that's like super like condescending, or we know not to be the case, you don't just allow that. You know, Dominic Brazil was saying he had a resume better than Wilder, and his opponents were better than Luis Ortiz. Like, that don't even, come on, bro. Like, that don't even sound right. You're better off just saying, I'm gonna beat Wilder up. I'm different, you know. But to say your resume is better than his, and your guys that you fought are better, the guys that you beat are better than Luis Ortiz, that's a stretch. Yeah, so, you know, it's really what Tyson Fury's saying. That's worse than anything. That's making it look bad, to be honest. You know. You guys realize this is an open live stream. You don't have to say, hey, I got questions. You could just type your question. I don't understand why you guys do that sometimes. Hey, man, I got questions. Why do people think Wilder's ducking AJ? Makes no sense to me. The internet is a vast place. The internet is great for transferring information, staying in touch and in tune with what's going on in your community and the world at large. But it also gives people a voice. And some of y'all don't deserve a public voice because y'all just act ignorant and, you know, say crazy shit. So the thing is, you have to understand, people have fake identities on the internet. Me as a person, who I am as a person, is how I've always been in life. You know, you can't say, oh, ego, he got it in front of the camera and started doing impressions or started acting different. I act the same way I act. You know, I'm the same person, but some people aren't like that. So you have to imagine and understand that there's a lot of people that say stuff, but they just saying it. You know, they don't really believe it. Like, people can get on the internet and say, oh, you know, Deontay Wilder, you're a bitch. I'm going to fuck you up. I'll break your jaw. You could type that. But then I'm at the spot with Wilder and I don't see people coming up to him disrespectfully. You get what I'm saying? So the internet, you know, it's a crazy place. So people can say, oh, Wilder's ducking Joshua. And some people just like to see others argue and, you know, stir the pot and stuff like that. So that's what it is. But a lot of people say stuff they don't mean, you know. I always get, you know, people, ego, you're a big bitch, you're a pussy. That's what's up. But I'm at the fights. You know where I'm at. You know, I'm a man, you know. So if someone had a problem, like a real life, you got a real life issue with me, you know, step to me as a man, you know, and take it one step at a time. So people say all types of shit on the internet. But yeah, this is a bad look to me for Tyson Fury. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, you're fighting Tom Schwartz. The BT Sport didn't even ask him about the Schwartz fight. See, this is a horrible look. And these companies are going to realize, especially with new media around, these companies are going to realize that you invest in and then not making the fights the fans want, that's not going to work to your benefit. The whole interview that I just played for you, majority of it's about Wilder, and he just got his fight announced with Tom Schwartz, right? His fight with Tom Schwartz just got announced yesterday. Where are the Tom Schwartz questions? Say, hey, how did you find Tom Schwartz? Hey, what kind of problems can Tom Schwartz give you? You know, they skipped over all of the Tom Schwartz shit, and they talking about Wilder. But then Tyson Fury saying Wilder's a nobody. Okay, he's a nobody. Don't use him for views. You don't say his name, you know. Talk about Tom Schwartz. I hear Wilder talking about Dominic Brazil. He's like, man, I caught him in the hallway, and he was embarrassed because my brother weighed 192 pounds, and he dropped him. Wilder's talking about his opponent, so you talk about Tom Schwartz. You know, see how much interest you can get from Tom Schwartz. You know, not AJ and not Wilder. You know, AJ's not really talking about Tyson Fury right now. So let's, you know, how about we do that? You know, the UK should ask Tyson Fury Tom Schwartz questions. Say, hey, how'd you find this guy? Hey, what do you know about him? What kind of problems can he give you? You know, why did you pick him, but you beat Wilder easy? You know, Ronald Finkley, I appreciate you. You beat Wilder 10 rounds to 2. Why step down to a guy who's never fought outside Germany, Tyson? These are real life good questions, in my opinion. Like, why? But, you know, you don't want to ask because he's 6'10"? You don't want to ask him that? We professionals, ask him. You know, what's he going to do? Attack you? You know? Don't be asking these tough questions. Like, what is? It's your job. It's his job, your job. You know, as long as you don't disrespect, you don't have to disrespect him. Just ask him. You beat Wilder easy. Why you fighting Tom Schwartz? You won 10 rounds and he only won 2. See, and another reason that looks bad by even, he better off saying that we fought to a draw, or saying that he, you know, he won less rounds, but he can't because he got knocked down and they're 10-8 rounds, so that the math wouldn't add up. If he said he won less rounds, then that means it would have been a draw, or it means Wilder would have won. See, I got the game figured out. So Tyson Fury's kind of cornered, so he has to say he won 10 rounds. Because, again, with 2 10-8 rounds, that evens the score and leverages it, right? Yeah, why do you need a tune-up? If you beat it 10 round to 2, you beat the champion, and the world knows it. Here's another good question. If you're capable of beating the baddest man on the planet with the most power in boxing, who happens to be a champion, who's 6'7" and athletic, and you're able to beat him easy, then surely you should fight a more complicated person than somebody who is an inch shorter, has less power, has even worse technique than Wilder, since you guys talk about Wilder's technique, hasn't fought outside of his immediate area, nobody knows him, the fight generates less money. What about that? Block Macca. Go to old media channels. We don't need you. This is they too. They try to distract from the actual conversation. AJ got his own fight. Wilder got his own fight. We more so talking about Tyson Fury's decisions right now. He said Fury sympathizers equals Trump supporters. Makes no sense to fight Tom. Y'all, new media is killing. I love it. Once again, if you are capable of beating someone at a Wilder level, then why are you regressing to a guy of a Tom Schwartz level? Like that. Okay, here's an example. I got an example. If y'all want me to give y'all if y'all want to give me a example, then can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? I got one for y'all. Listen. I got y'all. I got y'all. New media putting a dent in the game. If y'all want to hear this, can I get a hell yeah? It's simple. All right, I'll give y'all an example. So, that's like if I'm capable of beating Kobe Bryant in a game of one-on-one, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, right? Dominique Wilkins, Clyde Drexler, Karl Malone, all-star dope, Larry Johnson, dope basketball players. I'm capable of beating all of them, right? Larry Johnson, Grandmama. And then I have a game and it ends in a tie or something. And then Larry Johnson wants another game to settle the score, to settle the tie, right? And I'm like, man, I already beat Larry Johnson easy. I already beat Allen Iverson easy. I already beat Kobe Bryant easy. Even though it was left at a tie, right? And instead of rematching Kobe to settle the score, you know, and to break the tie, or Larry Johnson, or one of these great basketball players, I say, I'm playing him over there, Sean Bradley. My real basketball fans know what I'm talking about, you know. That wouldn't make sense. If you could beat Jordan and LeBron, Larry Johnson, all these dope ass Sean Kemp, why the fuck, when you're stuck at a tie and then the other person wants to rematch, you know, settle the score and have one dominant complete winner, and then you go say, nah, I'm playing against Sean Bradley, you know, Harold Miner. That doesn't even make sense. And you guys know it. He said the Monstars. I'm so done. Somebody said the Monsters from Space Jam. That's what I'm saying. You know, why on earth would you go after Sean Bradley or somebody like that? Greg Oden or somebody, if you're capable of beating somebody way better. Nobody even knows who Tom Schwartz is. Nobody. You could beat Jordan, but you want to play Anthony Bennett. Like, come on, bro. That don't even make sense, bro. Yeah, I know I could beat Jordan, but I'm going to go play Anthony Bennett. That's who I'm really going after. You know what I'm saying? You're capable of beating Tom Brady in a game, but you want to play Tim Tebow or someone even worse than Tim Tebow wasn't all the way bad. You know, I'm gonna go play Jamarcus Russell and Tebow. And why don't you play? If you could beat Tom Brady, then why don't you beat him again? Especially when there's more money there. Come on, bro. We know what that is. Man, even fights where people were told that they lost the fight, but they won, like Tim Bradley versus Pacquiao. Bradley was getting death threats and, hello, Bradley, you lost, you motherfucker. You know, he won and they said he lost. He still rematched Pacquiao 2 other times. He still rematched Pacquiao. Tom Schwartz wasn't that the guy who played in the Wonderboy? Wow. So all that doesn't support what you're saying anyway, and that looks real bad. You fighting Tom Schwarzenegger. Yeah. Who's your daddy and what does he do? Yeah. All right, bro. We'll see how this all pans out. But, let me get to the Wilder part. You guys can make what you want of it. Man, who the fuck is King Mar, bruh? Thank you. Thank you. My shooters know me. Anyway, Helen Yee Sports has an interview with Wilder. Realest champ in the biz. He's doing his thing. He's a real dude. Anyway, he talked about Tyson Fury. Basically, it'll happen, but the politics and, listen. Y'all want to hear what Wilder had to say? Because I could get off if y'all don't want. If y'all want to hear what Wilder has to say in his brand new interview, can I get a hell yeah? And smash the like button. I'm going to play it for y'all. Yeah, Tom Schwartz. Come on. Y'all want to hear it? It was a good interview, though. Wilder had some good answers.
Now, and you're going to do the tango. Y'all guys, I can tell you, I can promise you that fight's going to happen.
And also, how close were you to signing with Dazn? Were you very close?
I wasn't close at all. Those guys, I don't think they was prepared for what they was about to see. They wasn't prepared for my whole team. We're businessmen, and we came in as businessmen with a business manner. And there was a lot of things that Dazn didn't want to reveal to us at this moment in time. So if we can't get all the information that we need, then how can we negotiate? How can we start somewhere? You know what I mean? And we just wanted to hear them out. We're not playing around with them too much. Especially because of the Eddie Hearn ordeal. We're not playing at all. So if they ain't coming correct, then they ain't coming with then I'm grown. I'm not gonna play games with no one. I done played games with them for 4 months, and that's enough for me. You know what I mean? That's why I'm gonna take this approach like it is. So when the zone come with me, the zone come correct. I don't want no secrets. I don't want no hiding, not revealing information, because it ain't gonna work like that. I'm my own man, I'm my own boss. I don't take no orders from nobody. We set the tone. I know what position I hold in this sport. I know I am in sport in the heavyweight division, and all fighters must see me. I know what position I place, and I know my stance, and it's very strong. So anybody coming with Deontay, why you gotta come with it? Because I know my worth.
It goes down.
Y'all hear that? Could y'all hear what he said? Shout out to Nate. Y'all hear what Wilder said? He said he wasn't close to signing to his own because they was hiding shit. They didn't want to give all the information. He said that ain't gonna work. Wilder a real one. I told y'all. He said we set the tone. I know my worth. He said they want to give half information, half truth. That's not gonna work. You gotta spill the beans. We have to have an understanding. He said I wasn't concerned. I'm just paraphrasing. Therefore, I wasn't concerned with signing to Dazn. We didn't make no ground because they was hiding. We can't be having no hiding, having no secrets, and I'm making something, but I don't know what my other party. He said, I don't think they was ready for that. They wasn't ready for my team. We businessmen. We here to handle business, and we here to get to the numbers and crunch numbers, try to get this thing going, but not under those terms. Like I said, once again, new media continues to win. I told you Wilder made the right decision. Wait, play the field. Just, keep your stock high, keep winning, try to knock out Dominic Brazil and have an impressive performance. The money ain't going nowhere if you can do those things. There's a lot of people that say, oh, but it's a gamble. Haven't you found out by now this motherfucker like gambles? Because fighting Luis Ortiz, like, first of all, we thought the Joshua fight could happen soon, right? In September. So this motherfucker fought Luis King Kong Ortiz before that. So he clearly is a risk taker, because you see Triple G, when Canelo failed a drug test, he was suspended till September. He was already supposed to rematch Canelo. Triple G was supposed to rematch Canelo. Triple G knew he was in line when Canelo was free to fight again in August or September after serving a short slap on the wrist suspension for the clenbuterol. So guess what Team Triple G decided? They wanted to, utilize the training camp that they had started for Canelo and just get a simple fight in that didn't have much risk. So they fought Vanes Martirosyan. They didn't want to fight a guy like Derevyanchenko, a tough Russian who gave Jacobs a tough fight, because they didn't want to risk it. They didn't want Golovkin to look bad. They didn't want anything that would risk Golovkin possibly losing, looking vulnerable, getting knocked down, injured, anything, because they wanted the Canelo fight. So that's not what Wilder did. Not only was he ready to fight Luis King Kong Ortiz in November, Luis Ortiz failed a drug test. He was like, man, fuck it, I'll still fight him. The WBC didn't allow it, but then they fought in March with the Joshua fight hanging over his head. So Wilder's been taking risks. He's been a risk taker. People are like, oh, it's a gamble doing this. Everything's a fucking gamble. Going to check your mail is a gamble. Somebody might jump the curb and hit you. Somebody might have a baseball bat and just club you. Everything is a fucking risk. But Wilder's already taking risks. He's not letting no one get in his way of greatness. He's like, yeah, I want Anthony Joshua fight. I'll get past the boogeyman Luis King Kong Ortiz, which he did. It was a tough fight. And, he already took a risk. So he's been taking gambles anyway. Going to the Olympics with minimal training, that's a gamble. So I would rather gamble on myself at this point, because what you've been able to produce. Listen, I always gamble on myself. I bought a lot of equipment for my channel, and spent the money up front knowing I have to learn new equipment, because I bet on myself all the time. I bet on myself. I know what I'm capable of, and I haven't even reached my pinnacle, so I'm not worried about it. I don't care. Money is going to come and go. I'd rather spend on me than, invest in somebody else's shit. That's why I'm working for myself now, because I spent my whole life working for other people. And this shit, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, this shit feels great. When I have accomplishments, when I unlock new things and have milestones, I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels good, because it's more personable. So Wilder is not saying anything that I've never told you beforehand. Bet on yourself. And see, look, I rather assume 100% of the risk than to put my faith into somebody else when I don't have to, and then they could fuck me over. They can make bad decisions, and then I'm just stuck, dealing with the consequences for decisions someone else made. Yeah, Ego, I was looking at your camera. Damn. Yeah, man, we working. I'd rather assume 100%, because at least I could just live with the regret of, oh, fuck, I tried it and, I came up short, as opposed to blaming someone else who don't have to live my life. Roger, he's the one that did this to me. Nah, I can't live like that. So I'd rather take all the responsibility. I take all the heat, because I also take all the victory. If I bet on myself and I have a victory and have a success, I'm not saying I'm the only one that ever done it and nobody helped me, but I know the risk that I took. Like, me doing this full time was a risk at first. Now it's not, because I'm established. I know how to, I learned it, but I was learning on the job. You know, I had an old mic. The audio wasn't as good. You had to get your little swag. That was a risk because I had worked my whole life. I had regular jobs my whole life. I've been a boxing fan my whole life, but there ain't no YouTube manual. There ain't nothing that tell you how to do this shit. There's no one that tells you, hey, you know, that's why I see a lot of YouTubers, they do it the wrong way. Block O full, yeah. Block O full, yeah. O full, yeah. Block them immediately. Nelson Santos, I appreciate you on the birthday wishes. Block O full, yeah. Thank you. Anyway, there's no manual for this YouTube shit. There's no one that tells you. They don't really even have, like now they do. They have like a chat you can do, emails and shit. But there's no one that actually just helps you and sits down. There's no office I can go to. You know, you just got to figure everything out. And God willing, that's what we did. So, long story short, always bet on yourself. I'm helping my boy that I used to do music with, my dude A1. I'm helping him, like giving him advice and stuff, trying to help him transition out of working a job, you know, with stuff he likes doing. It's a possibility for everybody. You know, you just got to play your cards right. See, a lot of people fuck up the sauce and the formula. It's a process. You don't just quit your job and then now you can't pay your bills or your car note or your mortgage or, you know, and then you just put it, because then now you're going to fuck up. You got to, you know, you have to get a running game plan. Shout out to Nate. He said, happy birthday, my dude. You don't need no office. You cool. Appreciate you. So, yeah, Wilder did the right thing. Bet on yourself. And he said he went to Dazn, them Dazn offices, and, you know, they weren't giving all the information. Wilder told Joshua, I'm not doing it unless it's 50-50, straight down the middle. Why would you let John Skipper, you know, or somebody else who ain't been rocking with you from the beginning throw you out a number, and because the number sounds like a lot of money with no context, and you just run with it? Some of you guys are fools. This is how people, life is pimps and hoes. And a lot of you will allow other people and a man to pimp you. I don't let nobody pimp me. I make the decisions. You know, a lot of you guys will get, you know, you'll get got. You will really get got because you'll fall for anything. You gonna just let somebody, because they throwing out money to Golovkin and Canelo has a record-breaking deal, determine your fate, throw out a flat fee number without showing any of the you know, the books or any type of audits or forecasts or charts, you know, any kind of real running game plan, what your competitor's making, and you just supposed to just take it. You know, this is like, y'all think slavery's still in or some shit. Like Django Unchained. You know, this is a business. People gotta understand. Like, these fighters are getting smarter. They're getting smarter. I've been saying this since Monday Mail Day. Fighters are getting smarter. They know there's money out here. You know, you just read about Conor McGregor. He wants, you know, equity in the UFC. He got proper 12 on the UFC octagon mat. These fighters ain't stupid. Conor McGregor, he's like, man, fuck that. I need Dana. Hey, Dana, you know, 50 G's, baby. He's like, man, I'm bringing in a lot of revenue for this place. You got to start cutting me in. You got to cut me in on this, because like I'm bringing all this excitement, all this hype. My fights are the biggest grossing fights for the UFC. You know, that's why Dana White didn't want, trust me on this one. Trust me on this one. Dana White did not want Conor McGregor to fight Mayweather. Dana White, earlier in his career, Floyd told you, he said Dana used to be my bag boy or whatever. But anyway, he knows the Mayweathers. He lives in Vegas. He knows or has a place in Vegas. He knows the Mayweathers well. He didn't want Conor because Conor's his cash cow. But there was so much money at stake, you know, and he would be getting a large cut of it too. they had to make the fight. You know, what are you gonna not let Conor fight, and you can't offer him shit like that in the UFC? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, so Conor made, let's say, 75 to 120 mil fighting Floyd Mayweather. There's no one in the UFC you could have had him fight, and he was making that. So you can't starve him of that type of opportunity to make that money. Shout out to my dude, as always, Real Brother 32. This the real deal. This the real deal. This the real deal. Easy work. Real Brother 32, $25 super chat. As always, I appreciate you, my guy. Ego, first, congratulations on the Disney deal. Appreciate it. Major props. Number 2, happy birthday, my G. Continue blessings on your movement and hustle. You are changing the culture like Al Heyman in boxing. You have your own fans and following. Salute. I really appreciate that, man. Give my dude Real Brother. He's a frequent collaborator, supporter, channel member. He really helps out the channel. So give him some claps if you guys could. And everybody, all the super chats and all the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Like I said, we doing something different. See, and this is the thing. People, here, this is how you know the haters is mad. Because I keep getting called a panhandler, and, you know, people keep saying, oh, you're a bum. They leaving me comments, oh, you're begging for money. Does it look like I'm begging? Does it look like I was left off bad and bougie? I'm just talking boxing, but the world sees it, and then that's what they get jealous at, because they come and start pocket watching. How would I know Real Brother's going to send money? How would I know that? I didn't tell him to do that. I'm literally talking. And all the people that sent super chats and birthday wishes, but they see it, and like I said, they pocket watch. Like Destroyer, Vaughn Gaming, Real Brother 32, Teddy Fresh, all these super chats. I didn't control that. I didn't tell people, but they see it, you know. They see it, and they blame me for it. Like always, I get blamed for it. That's how you know they watching. They watching. Like, God damn, how's it? What is he doing? I'm telling you, it's not even just about. It's not about money. It's about the movement. We doing this for the culture. I told you, Ego's Army. We riding till the wheels fall off. We gonna see how big this can get. Shout out to Real Brother 32. He said, I support you because you're a man of your word. You know, I was always raised that way. My parents are still married to this day. You know, I got a strong support system. You know. And that's what they told me. You know, always be myself. Don't let nobody change that. You know, things like that. Why niggas watching these pockets? Because they hating. That's why. That's why. You know? Oh, panhandle. All right, whatever. This the real deal. This the real deal. This the real deal. T Bonafide $2 super chat. Happy birthday, Ego. Keep hustling. I appreciate you. This is why, and see, this is why they get mad, because they channels is drying up. They ain't getting no support. They think they better than Ego's Army. They think they better than New Media, and they ain't getting no help. And guess what? I don't pay none. First of all, just so you guys know, if you really need to know, you know, I'm not gonna reveal all my shit, but the YouTube pay scale is a month behind. Just FYI. So everything you see, like when my dude Real Brother sent the $500 super chat, I haven't touched that money because it's a month behind. YouTube don't pay you like that. And, you know, in case, I guess, someone had a dispute or accidental charge, they don't do that. So all this stuff is a month behind. So I wouldn't even get this until, you know, a month, 2 months from now or some shit. I don't use super chats to finance my life. I don't need super chats. Do you know? Oh my gosh. I don't need super chats in order to get by, to cover fight. I could get no super chats and still cover every fight that I need, just in case you guys were wondering. We don't need that. People do it to help the movement. I'm not saying it doesn't help, because obviously it helps, you know, push us to the next level. That's what they mad at, because they channels is drying up, because they don't have no support. They don't have no. What are they doing? You know, like old media, what are they doing? They're constantly wrong, you know, saying a bunch of bullshit, trying to, you know, pander to racists, cooning. Like, what is there to support? People support because I'm the realest in the game, like Wilder, you know what I'm saying? Realest champ. We out here hustling. I'm trying to make an improvement. You see the fighters, you know, giving praise, and I show them love. So we have a mutual understanding. But anyway, back to Deontay Wilder. He made the right decision. Play the field, fight Dominic Breazeale with the people you've already been fighting with. Let them handle that. See who Tyson Fury fights. Now we know. See how that fight plays out. See what they try to do next. See what Dazn does. See how Joshua Miller plays out. See if Dillian White goes over to ESPN. You know, you got options. See, the thing is, it's almost like dating. I'm the king of analogies, by the way. It's like dating. If I've been single, I'm not trying to just hook up with anybody and make them my wife. Make them my girlfriend. You got to be special for that. I date people. Like, you know, okay, went on a date, went to the movies with, you know, smashed or some shit. I ain't just going to make you my wife like that. Like, what the fuck? And take you to my parent, you know, introduce you to the family. What the fuck? I don't know what type of... Some of y'all do that because y'all simps. You know, hey, Mom, I met her a week ago. What do you think of her? This is Samantha. So, it's better to play the field. Keep your options open, especially if you move around a lot like your boy. You know, why would I want, you know... Unless I met the person that I felt like, oh damn, this is one I got settled down. You get what I'm saying? That's what Wilder's doing. Why he gotta commit to Dazn, but Joshua don't? Get the fuck out of here. You guys sound stupid. He gotta commit for 3 fights, but Joshua don't gotta commit for 3 fights. He gotta commit for 3 fights, and he get the same amount in fight number 2 and 3. You guys sound stupid. You guys are really stupid. Always going against new media with the boy. Oh, Wilder, he ducked, man. How you duck, bro? That doesn't even make sense. Why doesn't Joshua have to commit to Dazn? Only Wilder. And then Dazn is like, that's the op. You know, Showtime and PBC and Fox, they ain't got nothing to do with Dazn. Nothing. So you go over there, bring your talents to South Beach, help Dazn, which need help because they need major marquee fights and fighters. You know, they doubling up on the price. They need help. That's why they're raising the price, because they're not getting enough movement and traction like they want. There's no other reason for that. If business is booming, why the fuck you double your pricing? You know? You doubling the price and then not enhancing the quality. Like I said, Netflix, I can understand when they raise the price a couple dollars because they keep coming out with new TV shows and the shit be wet. You know, like The Punisher and all this stuff, right? DAZN didn't do that. I don't even know when the next DAZN card is, to be honest. So, again, why Wilder got to commit, but Joshua don't got to commit? Wilder has a meeting with DAZN and no one knows what Joshua's getting. Again. You know, Eddie Hearn, all we know is what Eddie Hearn says, but we don't see no receipts. He just says Joshua's getting paid. You know, Joshua might even be in the slave contract. We don't know. You know, they say there's X amount of people in this. You know, you don't know if they comp ticket. We don't know. We don't know anything. I don't even know how many subscribers DAZN has. How many? Somebody tell me a number, an estimate. We don't know these things. So why would he commit to that? It's so many unknowns. And being the position he's in, Deontay Wilder could potentially, he's at like a fork in the road. You know, ESPN, you know, they could build towards a Tyson Fury Wilder rematch. There's money there, especially, you know, pay like you weigh. ESPN got money. DAZN, you know, AJ, maybe he can go there. Maybe they could do an ESPN Showtime, Fox Showtime, you know, Fox DAZN. There's just so many options. Why he got to commit? Why you got to commit beyond just a job? See, why don't they just give Wilder a Joshua fight, DAZN on Showtime? You know, because as time goes on, Joshua's A-sideness is getting watered down. That gap is getting a lot more narrow. You know, Joshua is not bigger in America than Deontay Wilder. He said they ain't gonna say it. I suspect around 60,000 subscribers. But that's, that don't sound right. Because I'm not saying the number's not right, but I'm saying that doesn't sound good. ESPN, I seen something and they had a couple million, and this was when the UFC first joined. So they have a cheaper price point, but they also had more than 60,000. We've been destroying old media for so long now. Listen. Remember when Barry Hearn, shout out to Jesse Rincon, $5 Super Chat. He said, happy birthday, Ego. Good work. I appreciate you. Remember when Barry Hearn was fishing and he did that interview where he spilled the beans and it made Joshua look bad? And they said, oh, that's just Barry Hearn's.
This the real deal. This the real deal. This the real deal. Easy work.
Gabriel 707, shout out to 707, say it backwards. He said, DAZN's still trying to find money to pay for that fat ass Canelo contract. Exactly, bro. I think, and this is my honest opinion, I'll be honest with you guys. I think DAZN, they figured, okay, there's been a couple phases. Do y'all want to hear my opinion on what I'll break the whole thing down. If y'all want to hear, can I get a hell yeah, and let's get the likes up. We got to get the likes up. We probably not even doing that many likes because I know I haven't been hounding y'all about it. If y'all want to hear my opinion on what happened with DAZN, I'll give you guys a quick recap of what your boy Ego, think happened. This is just my opinion. They don't give you much information in terms of how many subscribers they have and stuff like that. So it's speculation and it's my opinion. If you guys want that, can I get a hell yeah and smash the like button? That's how I can present these live streams to you. Okay, this is what I think happened. DAZN came out with this concept. First of all, they thought, oh, we got Michael Buffer. Eddie Hearn is the face that people know in boxing. We could come up with this concept and tagline, pay-per-view is dead. They thought that alone, and on a month-to-month subscription, they thought those things, Michael Buffer's over there now, he's respected, and people like the voice, Eddie Hearn, right? Month to month, but it's only $9.99. They thought a whole bunch of people were going to just, pay-per-view's dead, and just jump and spring, right? 30-day trial, and they was just going to be hooked because they're coming from the era of HBO boxing, Showtime boxing, where if there was a pay-per-view, depending on who it was, it's like $70, $75, $85, $100. So they're like, surely, $9.99, people would pay that in a monthly, a smaller increment, and you're paying for 100 nights a box or whatever. But they realized that their business model, like I told you from the beginning, was fully flawed. And instead of people committing to DAZN for long periods of time, people were creating 5 and 6 emails, getting 30-day free trials, watching DAZN events with crystal clear quality, or the quality that you would have because they're under a trial, right? And they didn't anticipate this. They thought people would be like, oh, I'm blown away. They have high quality. This is this and this, and people was just going to fuck with it. But it was actually the opposite. They're losing money or weren't gaining enough money because people were creating 5 and 6 different email accounts, or, I sign up and then my sister signs up and then my dad signs up and then my mom signs up, and they're like, fuck, we're not getting no long-term customers, right? So the misconception number one was just the business model, it being cheaper than pay-per-view, that people were just going to be like, oh shit, but you have to realize you're still new. 2, people will pay for quality. People will pay for what they want to see. I've been to the movies. I don't personally care for it, but I've been on dates and stuff. And we go to the Black Panther movie or some shit. And if the date wants to go see it in IMAX 3D, what do? You pay for it. IMAX 3D, I swear. I got one time, it was like the theater, they played me. They were like, oh, it's IMAX 3D. It's in the Dolby DTS special DX, theater in 3D IMAX, and it was supposed to be all this shit. For 2 tickets, I ended up paying like $50. And there was hella people in the theater to go see Black Panther. So the sound was better and it's IMAX, bigger screen and stuff. People still paid it. To see that, I heard the movie was good, they still paid it. So I was only too deep, me and a date. It was $50 for 2 tickets. That's a lot for, I'm not going to see a Broadway play, fucking Wicked or some shit. It's a movie. It's a Black Panther movie, a comic book movie. But because it was IMAX and stuff, people pay. Bottom line, that's what it is. People still pay for pay-per-view. It just has to be the right pay-per-view. HBO Boxing, before they get out of the game, they started abusing the pay-per-view procedure. Start putting everything on pay-per-view, So that kind of left a sour taste. So DAZN felt like, oh, we coming in at the right time. It's cheaper and but they seen people were abusing the system, and they weren't seeing any positive trends or major traction. Then on top of that, they failed to realize that the person that they hooked up with, the first person, was Eddie Hearn, who's a UK promoter, and they weren't bringing DAZN over to the UK because Eddie Hearn has his own dealings with Sky Sports. So he got the UK on lock with Sky Sports, Adam Booth and all this shit. He got his fights being distributed through them in the UK. So you're leaning on a UK promoter who doesn't fully understand everything about the American market, and he's even admitted that in interviews. He doesn't have a deep American stable. He had like Danny Jacobs and, Gerald Miller or some shit. He doesn't fully grasp the American market. Most of his stable isn't Americans, and he didn't have a stable. So on top of being new, you're also marketing, and I've told you guys the same thing. How are these companies planning on marketing to the U.S. with no U.S. major talent? Eddie Hearn thought he could get all these top Al Heyman guys, all of them. Errol Spence, he was going to be able to lure him over. Jamel and Jamal Charlo, Broner, Gervonta Tank Davis, Mikey Garcia, Wilder, and he got none of them. Remember though when Eddie Hearn was in New York and they did the first soft launch press conference, not the one where Joshua and Miller got into it, but before that, these are all the names of, he's like, yeah, we only want about 7 to 8 stars, American stars like Broner and Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence. He said all of these people that they wanted to acquire and sign, and literally signed none of them because they were loyal to Al. He thought it was going to be easy. He thought they would just be able to wave, some money and talk a good game. It's not how that works. Loyalty is actually something. People entrusted Al Heyman from the beginning to get their career popping. Right? So in his mind, he thought, oh yeah, okay, the Charlos, they're making $1 million a paycheck or $2 million, so we're gonna offer him 7, and they're gonna go. But little do they know that you don't really know, other than what's disclosed through the Nevada State Athletic Commission. You don't know how much they're getting. You really don't. They could have endorsements or some shit you don't know. You don't really know how. You don't run their books. You ain't their manager. So you don't really know how much they're getting. So that was one of the problems. They entrusted Eddie Hearn to get this done, and he couldn't sign them. Here's another thing. Do you notice that Eddie Hearn, all the people he said he wanted to get, he literally got none of them. From Broner to Mikey Garcia, who just fought on the Showtime Fox card, a Fox PBC card, to Errol Spence, all of them got. All the guys he listed, he got none of them. Do you understand the biggest traction that DAZN has had, outside of maybe Daniel Jacobs, has not come through Eddie Hearn? The biggest star that they had is Canelo Alvarez. And I guess you could say Anthony Joshua, but he didn't acquire Anthony Joshua after this DAZN deal. He already had Anthony Joshua. He already had Joshua, so that doesn't really even count. He didn't that was someone you already had that employee. Do you notice Eddie Hearn's had nothing to do with see, and y'all was giving Eddie Hearn credit for this. Eddie Hearn had nothing to do with he had nothing to do with Canelo coming. He had nothing to do with the Deontay Wilder meeting. They didn't even go through him. I think he might have been in the Triple G meetings, but Triple G just needed a home. So Eddie Hearn didn't really bring no one along. You know, John Skipper had to be, or whoever had to be a part of all those meetings. It wasn't like just Eddie Hearn handled it. So anyway, I told you this was a problem. You have a UK promoter, and you're not focused on American talent. He doesn't have a deep American stable, and you're trying to market this to Americans. You have to put on shit that Americans want to see. Like, if I go to Greece, right, and I open up a restaurant, and I don't got no food that they like to eat, no Greek food, I don't got no Mediterranean food, then, you know, there's a chance, maybe there's a chance I can blow up, but I'm pretty sure the restaurant, when in Rome, do as Romans do. You know, I'm pretty sure your restaurant would want to cater to what the people like to eat. You know, and Dazn and Eddie Hearn, America's not going for some of the UK matchmaking. We don't know who Ted Cheeseman is. You know, fucking Gouda John and shit. We don't know these guys. You have not done a good job of making them crossover success. You know, some of them we might not understand with thick accents. We don't even know what they're saying. You know, it's a different market. And they hadn't been, they're not like crossover successes. You get what I'm saying? They're not like Conor McGregor, someone who has clearly studied American pop culture from the Coogee to the Biggie references and coming out to Notoria. That's why that's why Americans fuck with Conor McGregor. He actually acts like one of us. He acts like an asshole, which Americans are assholes. You know what I'm saying? We will cuss you out in a quickness. He's referencing Jay-Z and, you know, tell him the Blanco sent you, you know, and he's culture vultured pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Hey, fuck 50 Cent. 50, you know, and, you know, he's talking greasy, coming out to Biggie, dressed like Joe Frazier and all this shit. You know, people fuck with it. But Ted Cheeseman, we don't really know who he is. You haven't done a good job of making him a crossover, you know, phenom or some shit. You know, and this is the DAZN game plan. So you can't just say, oh, $9.99 a month, 100 fights. What are those 100 fights? Who? You know, women's boxing is on the come up, but a lot of people, Katie Taylor, she's a beast, but a lot of people don't know who she's fighting. And it looks like a clear, see, this is the problem with women's boxing at the moment. They don't have that many contemporaries. You see the best women boxers, and there's, how do you say, I'm trying to say it the best possible way. There's like a lot of gaps in the talent pool. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of gaps in the top. Like, Lamont Peterson and Sergey Lipinets just fought. It was a competitive fight. Even though Lamont Peterson got stopped, it was competitive. You know what I'm saying? Some of these the Katie Taylors and, you know, Amanda Serranos and Clarissa Shields and stuff, Cecilia Brækhus, some of those fights, the talent pool is so wide that they're doing their thing, but their opponents is one-sided. And on top of that, some of these other girls have losses and people don't know them. They don't know who they are. So, yeah, like Katie Taylor, it's not going to be as easy a sell because people don't know who she's even fighting. And she seems to be really good. But some of the girls, you know, she's fighting, it looks like they're no match for her or Clarissa Shields or whoever, blah, blah, blah. Right? So that's the issue with DAZN. You can't just say, oh, $9.99 a month for 100 fights. What 100? You know what I'm saying? Demetrius Andrade versus Walter Katendakwa and Artur Akov. You know, Andrade's a terrific talent, but that's cool. It keeps him active, but that's not a big fight. You get what I'm saying? And then the decision-making process, Andrade versus Triple G, in my opinion, should easily be a target. You just got Triple G. He got to fight somebody, period. You need it. Especially if you want, you know, people are off Canelo Triple G 3. That might be the type of fight. If you know, I'll give it to Triple G. If he beats Demetrius Andrade, then I'll give it to him. I'll be like, okay, you know, coming off that loss, that was a very solid win, and he'll be a champion. So now I can get behind Canelo versus Triple G, part 3, if Canelo gets past Jacobs. Oh, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really want to see Triple. That's why. Why do you? Here's the thing. This is why it's. Why do you think it's taking so long for them to announce Triple G's opponent? Just take a guess. Why is it taking so long? Because they don't know who to get him to fight. You know, they don't know who, and they're not trying to put him in with someone risky. That's why. I guarantee you, I guarantee you, I'll put $5,000 on it. His next fight is not Demetrius Andrade. And that's the most impactful fight for him. Canelo's already fighting Jacobs. You know, why Zaleski? Again, he just got dropped by Gabe Rosado. You know, Andrade should be the favorite over Zaleski. Jacobs already beat him. Rosado just dropped him. Like, if that didn't happen, maybe, you know, because Zaleski he's solid. But, you know, with Zaleski losing that round, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how many people want to see that now. So, that, you know, I can almost assure you Triple G ain't going to fight somebody that people have been clamoring for. They're not going to get Charlo or Andre. This is part of the problem. Like, okay, just look what we just witnessed. Fox. All you have to do is have bunny rabbit ear antennas. You could have watched Fox and you could have seen Lamont Peterson versus Sergey Lipinets. Lipinets just moved to 47. Now he's established himself as a solid name up there. Even though he lost to Mikey Garcia, he's a champion, former champion. He says he felt better at the weight, and he just stopped a wildly cagey veteran with heart by knockout in Lamont Peterson and made him retire, even though he was coming off a loss to Spence. So that's interesting, especially when I didn't have to fucking come out of pocket for it. It's not like I paid like, you know, $50 for a pay-per-view to see that. I just watched it. Just like I watched Keith Thurman and Jose Cito, another good. This is on Fox. Leo Santa Cruz fight, that was all right, but I didn't pay for it, you know? Like, I didn't pay anything outside of the regular basic cable, you know? Period. Yes, you would have had to pay for Spence Garcia. But it's how are you competing with that? And then I do have to pay for Triple G's next fight, either $20 a month or do this annual package. And then you're not going to even put Triple G in there with somebody that I want to see. So I have to either pay $100 up front to get the best deal and get to the point where it's $8.33 a month. So I have to pay for Triple G, and then he's fighting someone I don't want to see. So, like, that's what I'm saying. You're not going to trap me into this shit. So I got to pay $20 for the month of a Triple G fight, or I have to prepay and just it's included, and then you have a good fight with Canelo Jacobs. Joshua Miller's solid. But then I'm just getting, other months where I could have done without. Or I'm covering another bigger fight like Terrence Crawford, Amir Khan, or Danny Garcia, Granados, or something. So that's to me that's like wasting my money, because your cards are aligning with other big cards and I got to cover them. So how I can't even get to see them live. That's part of it. So I have to either prepay and watch it later after the excitement, because you put it concurrent with another bigger card. It's kind of a mess. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, Lipinets did his thing. Because the beginning rounds I had him losing, but he made some adjustment, obviously. And that's the reality of it. Even Showtime, I'm an affiliate, I told you Disney reached out. I am Walt Disney, Google. So I'm an affiliate, but I'm telling you what I feel from the heart, regardless of anything. ESPN Plus, you can sign up on all my videos. There's a link. It's $4.99 a month after your 7-day free trial, right? You can get Showtime and ESPN Plus for cheaper. $4.99 plus $13. That's like $17.99. You can get, so I can get 2 networks that have actual channels and have apps for cheaper than I can get just an app with no channel. You know what I'm saying? So you have to mirror it, get a Roku, blah, 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 to get it on your TV or PlayStation, or you have to have something, right? But ESPN, since it's a linear platform, right? And man, come on, bro. I don't even have to do this. You guys know what I'm talking about. So Showtime has a channel and an app. I can watch it on my computer, watch it on TV. That's the conundrum that Dazn is in to me. You're charging more than your competitors, but are you giving us more? And then you have the ability to give us more because you signed Demetrius Andrade, an American that Americans like and Americans can get behind. Demetrius Andrade can scrap. He said he will fight Triple G when he was with HBO, when when Canelo failed a drug test. He been saying that he will fight Triple G, but then you're not gonna make Triple G fight him. Then I don't know. I don't, what do you want? Like, what do you expect the fans to do? Canelo Jacobs, that's a bet. I give credit where credit's due. Canelo Jacobs is an awesome fight. Awesome, Anthony Joshua, Gerald Miller, aside from the fact that I want to see the Wilder fight or, Joshua Luis Ortiz, that's not bad, It's not bad. It's not my first choice, but it's, better than who Tyson Fury is fighting. So, that's the position they're in. So I think Wilder made the right choice because, like I said, DAZN, they have some things to really figure out. They're charging double their competitor or triple their competitors or whatever, to the point where you can get ESPN and Showtime for the price of 1 month of DAZN now if you do the month by month. Or you could commit, but then I don't want to commit to something that I haven't used, that I have no control over, that I don't like. Okay, here's an example. I do commit because I don't like recurring things if I can help it. So I'd rather take if I could pay $120 up front, and just be done with it and not have to see it get deducted from my bill every month, I would do that. But that's if I know what I'm getting into. Like Amazon Prime. I have Amazon Prime, right? But once I got it, I got it. It's already prepaid for the year. I could get on Amazon Photos and sync up all my photos. I can go to Amazon Music. I can go to Amazon Video and look through a catalog as long as it's not one of the paid options of movies, like a direct download movie you have to buy. I can use the 2-day and 1-day free shipping. So you get what I'm saying? So I have control. I use it. I just bought some stuff on Amazon. I have control. Amazon can't control what I spend. All I have to do is be logged in. I get my 2-day. I can't control what fights they put on the calendar. And they haven't been out long enough, so why would I want to commit to that? Because I haven't really been too impressed with the schedule. Or they've been putting on fights that, I probably would have watched if I wasn't covering bigger fights. So how's that fair for me? So like Tevin Farmer, that's my guy. I like him. He's fighting actively. He got skills. So I like watching his fights. But I couldn't watch it because I was covering Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence in Texas. So I'm ripping and running. So if I would have paid, if I did the paid option, $100, but I can't even watch his fight live because I'm at another fight working. That's why the $9.99 option was better, at least for a person like me, because if I wanted, I could turn it on, turn it off, opt in, opt out. But I guess too many of people were thinking the same way, and it was a flawed business model to begin with. I don't know what they're expecting, especially with the 30-day free trial. Who the fuck is Bobby Six? That sound like fake ass like Jackson 5. You know, like a fake ass group. You heard of the Jackson 5? Well, we're the Bobby Six. Night like this. Someone who makes money from boxing should already have Dazn. If you don't, though, you should. It been so deep. How you gonna tell, bro? Get out of here, bro. That explains the Deontay Wilder love. You can control and use him, bro. You sound stupid as shit. I had Dazn. I don't have to explain my purchases to you. How you gonna tell me what I should pay for? Get out of here. They hating, see? Somebody who makes money at boxing. So I should just pay for something because I cover boxing and make money in boxing. I should pay for something even if it's not of benefit to me. Even if I can't watch the fight, I should just pay for it because I cover boxing. You see how stupid that sounds? Okay, I just told you. The reason I canceled because I didn't see anything on the schedule that really pertained to me, that really fit in with my schedule. I covered Broner Pacquiao in Las Vegas. That Friday, they had Demetrius Andrade versus Artur Kov. I'm covering the Pacquiao fight. I did not have time to watch it because I'm in Vegas. Why would I get it? You know, Sean Porter's fight, you guys. I couldn't watch. I was covering the fight that the fans told me to watch. You know, I'm at Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence, and they're doing Tevin Farmer versus. Why would I have it and I can't watch it? So I just got to pay just because I make money in boxing and because I cover boxing, even though they're doubling up and scheduling on dates with bigger fights. I got to pay $30, you know, for 3 months for fights I can't watch. You see how stupid that sounds? You see how stupid? And it doesn't work for me. These dudes are crazy. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not how it works, bro. I would clear, like, I spend more money on trips going to fights than DAZN costs. It's not about money at all. It's about if I could use it, if it's beneficial, if it's practical. And it's not practical for me to pay for something if I can't use it. If I was just sitting at home and there was nothing on and I wasn't, you know, then that'd be one thing. But that's not what's happening. So if it's that serious, you buy it from me. So if I can't watch the fight, then it's your dime. You give me $100. Give me $100. I'll buy the annual package. Your dollar. You tell me how to spend my money. These dudes is crazy. Shout out to Vegas. The Vampire Stream. See, pocket watching. Oh, if you make money in boxing, you buy it for me. Why would I buy anything that I can't use? That doesn't make sense. That's like me buying tickets to a concert in San Francisco, but I'm on house arrest, so I can't go. Man, if you like rap music, you should have bought the 2 Chainz concert. I'm on house arrest. I can't leave. You know, why would I buy tickets to a concert that I can't go see? You said you like hip hop. The Black Channel, that doesn't make sense, bro. Like, you don't see, like, if it's against your religion to eat bacon or pig or some shit, you supposed to just buy fucking a BLT. You do sound stupid, bro. So I can't eat it, but I got to buy a bunch of BLTs. Or I'm a vegan, so I'm supposed to go to, you know, buy a bunch of barbecue meats. And I'm a vegan, and I can't eat this shit. And I can't use it. These dudes sound stupid as shit. Hardcore rapper, but he's vegan. You telling a vegan he should, hey, you should buy meat. Your friend owns a barbecue. Buy meat. But if it applies to you, if it's applicable, then rock with it. But if you can't eat meat, it don't matter who the fuck barbecue spot it is if you can't eat the shit. That's what I'm saying. Man, these dudes are stupid. Rain Man 2 sides. Why buy something you don't see value in? They have to have the fight they want to see if I'm going to buy it. Shout out to West fucking Sack 916 in this beer. That's what I'm saying. That's like, so I might as well just, I'm a gold member with Hotels.com. You know, all the traveling I do. So I should just go book a hotel in Sacramento. Shout out to my dude from West Sac. I should just book a hotel for right now, even though I'm at home and I'm not going to that room. So basically I should just waste my money. Just book a room that I'm not going to in West Sac. Stop it. This is the problem. People tell me how to spend my money. And see, this is the thing. These dudes be lying. They be like, yeah, Dazn is great. I spend my $100 right now. I just got me a subscription. If you guys are so faithful and, you know, old faithful, you know, geysers and shit, you guys are so faithful, old faithful, then why are they doubling the price? They should be doing great then. You know, you trying to convince everybody that it's the best deal and the best. That's cool. If you feel, that's my thing. I don't tell y'all what to buy. If you like it, if it works for your situation and you want to support and you like all Katie Taylor's fights, you trying to see Ted Cheeseman, you know, Tom Sawyer or whoever that dude Tyson Fury's fighting, if his past fights were on there, you know, you want to see Willie Lump Lump, you know, Demetrius Andre versus Wolverine, that's cool. Get it. I don't tell y'all what to buy. I'm just telling you what works for my situation. You get what I'm saying? You do tell me how I got to spend my money. Oh, if you're hating, if you make money in boxing, so I should just watch some fights in Japan that, you know, and pay for fights that I can't cover or fights not going to, you know, generate no revenue just because I make money in boxing, bro. You know, stop it. It just sounds stupid. Tom Schwartz or whatever dude's name is. Like I said, I buy stuff that I need, buy stuff that I can use. I'm not just arbitrarily spending money on anything. If you fool, do you go to a restaurant and then, you know, get a number 2? You're full right now. You just drive to In-N-Out and be like, yeah, give me 3 double-doubles. Who does that? You fool about to pop and you just go order some more food. Come on, stop it. Y'all sound insane right now. But anyway, Dazn, they got to do something. Like, that price point is not, it don't have the same ring to it. Like, even here's the other thing. Business decision. Really analyze this. If you were struggling to get traction at $9.99 a pop, what makes you think $19.99, you know, a 2-time multiplier, you know, increasing the price by 100% is going to be the ticket? You know, yeah, sure, 1 customer counts as 2 now, you know, with that price point. But now you might end up losing, you know, like losing customers or pushing, you know, it might be off-putting to customers to the point where they're like scared, like, man, I'm not paying $20 a month. So once again, I don't like that. I don't like you trying to force me into getting a year package. So here, I got a really shitty deal for you unless you give me your money for the whole year. That don't make sense, bro. And like I said, I don't even have a problem. I will give Dazn $100 if they show me $100 worth of quality and what the schedule is talking about, you know? So the fight that I must see is Canelo Jacobs. So I got to pay $100 for Canelo Jacobs? Nah. I'd rather just pay for it for that month, which is $20. So it's still a flawed game plan because now you might have turned people off to the point where they're really only going to spring for, you know, the major marquee fights. You do. And then on top of it, you messed up. I don't know who's on the drawing boards or whatever, like making these decisions. Then on top of it, if you were going to increase the price, the smartest thing would be not put Canelo versus Jacobs and Anthony Joshua versus Gerald Miller within a 30-day span, so you at least force people to buy 2 months if they wanted to see those two fights, which happen to be your best fights. You guys do understand that they put these two fights, which happen to be their best fights that are on the calendar right now, they put them within a 30-day proximity of each other. So for $120, you'll be able to see, there's no illegal streams or anything. Since the fights are so close together, they're within the 30-day proximity. So if you buy on a certain date, you're going to be able to see Canelo fight in Jacobs and Anthony Joshua versus Gerald Miller. So if they were really smart, the thing I would have done is make Canelo, he has the Mexican dates, right? Cool, whatever. Boom. Joshua was getting off April 13th at Wembley, and he needed an American date. Boom. So I would have picked a venue that is at least 30 days after May 4th. Like, let's say instead of June 1st, I would have made the Gerald Miller fight with Joshua June 31st. So now you at least guarantee that the people who want to see those good fights have to pay more than $20. They're paying $40. Do you get what I'm saying? So that it's like they're just winging it. Canelo fights okay. I'm not the smartest brother in the world. Correct me if I'm wrong. Canelo fights May 4th. So you can buy on May 3rd and watch the weigh-in, right? This is not a scheme. This is a reality. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. May 3rd, the morning of May 3rd, you can buy Dazn, and they'll say, hey, we're charging you $20. Boom. You would be good until June 3rd. That's 30 days. Anthony Joshua fights Gerald Miller on June 1st. So you would be able, with one $20 charge, to be able to watch Canelo and his weigh-in, Canelo versus Jacobs, the fight, and everything for fight week for Anthony Joshua and the Joshua Miller fight. All legal, all within your 30-day, and then you can cancel it, and then you've only paid $20 for the best fights that they had. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know who's thinking about this stuff. Again, for me, I would have put that I'm not even trying to be funny, but if you're trying to gain money, I would have stretched that. You knew Canelo had the Mexican dates and he's the bigger star. I would have stretched that shit out. I would be like, nah, Joshua, he's fighting at Madison Square Garden July 1st. So people couldn't just use $20 and get our best fights. They would at least be paying us $40 with that month-to-month shit. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it doesn't seem thought out at all. It's like they're just winging it. Oh, we need subscribers. Now tell me if my math is off. Canelo's May 4th and Joshua's on June 1st. January, February, March, April, May, June. May, June. So you could, for $20, you could watch Canelo Jacobs and watch Anthony Joshua versus Miller and then cancel, and then you've only paid $20. So basically you pay $10 for 2 pay-per-views. Well, who does that? This doesn't even make sense, bruh. Like I said, I would stretch that shit all the way out just so you couldn't do that if you wanted to get the money, you know? Like, oh, shit, Joshua's fighting on July 1st, so you couldn't just, get Canelo for $20 in Jacobs and then, and then cancel. You would have to pay $40 or, just keep it running and pay, $60, excuse me, with the $20 times 3. profit. Damn, Ego. I didn't even look at the dates like that. That's a damn good point of how dumb they are. Nah, that's easy to see for me. Like that didn't even make sense. So me personally, I would have made sure the dates weren't within 30 days of each other for my biggest fights. Cause then that would at least force people to, those are fights that are anticipated. That would force them to buy more than a month. And I don't see what they could do to. How would you stop that? Let's think about this through. How would you stop that from happening? If you're charging people for 30 days and you order it on a certain day, I don't know. I don't know is there a way they could say, oh, you only get it for the month of May, or would it be 30 days from when you purchase it? The Tough Man competition back in 99 had better fights than Dazn. Wow. People hate on Ego because he makes too much sense. Makes people insecure about their own intelligence. Bro, I'm smart. We can do it however they want to do it. Street smart. Book smart. This is why Ego is a brand in himself. Book and street smart. Exactly. I'm telling you, that doesn't even make sense. I wouldn't have made Joshua fight on June 1st. I would have stretched that shit out. See? Eli says it's a 30-day billing cycle. That's what I would imagine. Because how are you gonna, like, if I bought something on, let's say you can even do it real talk, you can really do it May 2nd, and then you would be good until June 2nd. So you can see the final press conference, the weigh-in, Canelo versus Jacobs, and then you could cancel it after that, and then it would be good until June 2nd. And Joshua's fighting June 1st. This just doesn't make sense, people. It doesn't make any sense. I would have never did that. Especially if you're down. Especially if you're in the red. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know who. That's why it's just all the way a bad look. The price increase, they should have just waited. Maybe even wait till after the Canelo Jacobs fight and then do it. Just see what kind of numbers they got. But your best fights are too close to each other. You get what I'm saying? Clearly the best fight is Canelo Jacobs and Joshua Miller, because those are your big stars. We know Golovkin ain't fighting nobody. More than likely, Like I said, I'll put up $5,000 if Golovkin fight. I don't give a fuck about money. I'll put up $5,000 if Golovkin fight Andre next, in the next 4 months. In his next fight. If that's Golovkin's first fight with Dazn. So, what do we talk? And again, you can't just say 100 days, 100 nights. It's what are you, it's like, what are those 100-night fights? Like, it's quality, not quantity. You get what I'm saying? And then people keep saying this, like, oh, I'd much rather pay $100 a year than $75 a year, right? But that doesn't even make sense, because you're going to pay for what you like. If you're a huge Mikey Garcia or Errol Spence fan, then you would have to get that fight. You're not going to be like, oh, fuck Mikey, I'm only watching this. That's what I'm saying. Who does that? Who's going to say, like, nope, I only get DAZN fights. They cover all of my needs. But you want to see Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman or some shit. The product is whack. I'm not buying. Damn, Mike, just don't say nothing else, bro. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. People are still gonna, like, here's an example. Let's say you buy, people keep saying it like it's just so cut and dry. Oh, I'd rather spend $100 for DAZN annually than $75. But what if ESPN makes Top Rank fighter, Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, and it's $75. So because you've already spent for DAZN annually for a year, you're going to be like, I'm not watching it because it's not on DAZN. Or you're going to watch what you want to fucking watch. You know, what if ESPN works with Errol Spence and they make, you know, ESPN, Showtime, or Fox or whatever, make Errol Spence Terrence Crawford? Who's going to say like, oh, I'm not watching that fight because it's not on the DAZN network? It's not how fans think. Man, if Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight, I'm there. I'm watching it. Somehow, some way. I don't give a fuck what network is on. It could be on Nickelodeon. You know? Kid Choice Awards or some shit. Who does that? Who's going to be, you know? If Wilder and Fury have a rematch, I'm there. They're not DAZN fighters. I want to see that. You know? It could be on Extra. I'm going to watch it. It can be on Oxygen, Lifetime Movies. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to watch what I want to see. Right? Nobody's going to be like, oh, if it's not on DAZN, count me out, and I'm a huge boxing fan. So it's not cut and dry like, oh, I paid $100 annually for DAZN, so I'm not supporting any pay-per-view. But I really feel like, you know, with the marketing scheme, that's kind of what DAZN thought would happen. Like pay-per-view would be dead or some shit. That's why I never understood. That's why I didn't understand the whole pay-per-view is dead. Ain't no pay-per-view dead. If Conor McGregor fights Nate Diaz, I have ESPN Plus. I am now affiliate. They're giving you a discount if you've already been a member of ESPN Plus, so I could get that fight for like $60. I will support that. Cause I fuck with Nate Diaz, you know. NorCal. And I like Conor McGregor. You know, so that's not how it works. You know, you could say pay-per-view is dead, but whoever has a fight, if they put on pay-per-view, so be it. You know, people want to see Crawford Khan, then they're going to get it if they want to see it. So this whole, it's pay-per-view is dead. It's not really dead unless you're competing with, you know, putting on better fights, and then people feel no need to go watch Crawford versus Spence on pay-per-view, Wilder versus Fury 2 on ESPN pay-per-view. You know, Conor McGregor versus Khabib 2, Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz, or even, you know, Anthony Pettis. That I would get that. Anthony Pettis just knocked Wonderboy the fuck out. At 170, Conor McGregor versus Pettis, they both got heart. You know, Pettis got heart for sure. That's a good fight. So that's what I'm saying. I never understood this whole pay-per-view is dead. Old media is dead. That's because they're not beating us in any form or fact. They don't make more money than us. They don't cover more fights than us. They're not spitting more facts than us. Not having more logic. They don't get more notoriety than us. They're not getting credentials like us. And if they are getting credentials, they're not getting the views we get. Like, that's why old media, that's different. Old media is dead. They're dying. They're a dying breed. But you can't just say pay-per-view is dead and then Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence do good numbers. So how is it dead? So that wouldn't, for me, if I worked at DAZN or I was the head and I had $1 billion and it was my company to not make it fail, I would have made a couple of different decisions. This whole pay-per-view dead moniker or tagline or whatever you want to call it doesn't really make sense. Who cares? It's like, why would you even focus on pay-per-view? You know, or say it once and then just keep it pushing. Like, oh, we got something better than pay-per-view. Or like, you know, just do a little subtle drop. Like, you know, you still doing pay-per-view, but we got this. And then just show us what your schedule is and do better. And then, you know, you would entice people. But you're trying to kind of like brainwash people into thinking pay-per-view is dead. But it doesn't work like that. People pay for what they want to see. Like, if you like pepperoni pizza and Kevin McAllister from Home Alone only likes cheese pizza, and you guys go to a pizzeria, are you going to only get cheese pizza because of what he likes, or are you going to get what you like? Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know how much of that analogy some of y'all follow, but my whole thing is it's kind of like an a la carte life. People get what they want. That's just what it is. Like, you're not gonna not eat pepperoni pizza because someone said pepperoni pizza is dead. You know, oh, these motherfuckers still eating pepperoni pizza. Pep pizza is dead. You know, what you talk about? I still like pepperoni pizza. What do you mean it's dead? Some people like Hawaiian. You know, so if Round Table Pizza came out with commercials and it said Hawaiian pizza is dead and that's your favorite type of pizza and it's still being made and people are still offering it, are you going to be like, oh, nope, Round Table, their commercial, the tagline said pepperoni pizza is dead, Hawaiian pizza is dead. I guess I'll stick with cheese pizza. No, it's you know, it's a free country. You're going to get what the fuck you want. And that's how it is with pay-per-view. If it, you know, I'm not saying people want to pay for pay-per-view, but I guarantee you if Mayweather fights Pacquiao just did a poll. What are y'all laughing at? Hey, y'all laughing and shit. I'm telling you, I understand this business. I understand this business, you know, and see people underestimate the intelligence. Like Jay said, people understand, he said, or underestimate the intelligence that Jay-Z has. They think I'm just on here jawsing and like doing impressions and joking. Look, here's an example. Pay-per-view's dead, right? Manny Pacquiao just did a poll. It got 80,000 votes in a day. Look what the poll says. Manny Pacquiao, who should I fight next? Look who won the poll. Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather won the poll over Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. You know, 80,000 votes, final results, 73. You know, look at the drastic amount of numbers. Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Mayweather blew all that out of the water in terms of his next opponent. You know, he left the boy Errol Spence off, but you know, aside from that, Mayweather won the poll by 73%. So once again, Pacquiao on his verified page. So I'm assuming people follow Manny Pacquiao that like him, or at least some of the 80,000 people like him. And 73% of the people took the time out of their day to vote on who they want for his next opponent. So if Floyd Mayweather, let's say in August, says, I'm coming back and fighting Pacquiao, we know that fight is going to be, you've guessed it, on pay-per-view. So once again, these are all indications that people buy what they want. I'm not saying every single one of that 80,000, because, you know, there could have been some kids or teens, people didn't have money. You get what I'm saying? That voted. But that poll, they're telling you who they want to see him fight. You know, Pacquiao versus Mayweather, it has to be on pay-per-view. So if that many people are voting for Floyd as opposed to Pacquiao fighting Keith Thurman or if they make that fight, if Floyd does come out of retirement, it's going to be on pay-per-view. So you can't say pay-per-view is dead because obviously it's going to do good. So the whole pay-per-view is dead never made sense to me. You have to do something to really kill it. You can't just say it. You have to kill pay-per-view. And as far as guys like Pacquiao and Mayweather have popularity, then they're going to probably have support. Even though people said Mayweather Pacquiao 1 ruined boxing and all this extra shit, people still, we know that's not the case. So the Dazn, they thought they were futuristic. They thought they were ahead of their time, and they thought they were like, you know, reinventing the wheel. And the other thing is this: you got to understand, who does technology really cater to? Oftentimes young people, right? Young people. You know, teenagers, early 20s, things like that. So now look at this. What age group has the most money? You know, because Dazn, you know, they think, oh, we're futuristic, we're an app, blah, 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 right? But look at the demographic that apps and technology and iPads and tablets and Microsoft Surface and all this shit caters to. It caters to young people, which is cool. But all I know is when I was young, like when I'm 21 and shit, 18, my money was fucked up because I didn't, you know, I'm spending on food and, you know, going places, going out to the clubs and shit. right? You didn't have no money when who had more money when they were 21, and then, you know, they're at least 8 years older, and they had more money when they was 21. Let me know that. Who's 27 or older, and they had more money when they were 19 to 20, 21 than they do now? Let's just do a vote. You guys don't have to tell me your ages and shit. But who's like, you know, 25, 26, 27 or older, and they had more money when they was 18, 19, and 20, 21? So that's the other thing. You have to look at the demographic in the market that like apps, you know, and you have to look at who has money. I don't know, man. It's just the business plan seems kind of different to me. We'll say that. When you're a boxer, you're catering to a younger crowd with apps and shit. Kids know how to do all that, you know, log in, like little kids, even like little 10-year-old, 12-year-old know how to use iPads and load up games and shit. You got any games on your phone? Shit like that, right? So Dazn came in and say, oh, we on some futuristic shit. So who's 18, 19, 20, 21, young in general, that's trying to pay $20 a month? That has it like that, to pay $20 a month just for primarily boxing, you know, and Bellator. You know what I'm saying? So they don't care about, they're not at the age where they care about buying weed and going to the clubs and a Henny. They're going to diligently and responsibly, month after month, pay $20 a month, you know, or make the commitment to pay $100 up front. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at those types of things. I feel like more people, when you get better jobs and shit, when you get a little bit older, you get more responsible, you get some work experience under your belt, things of that sort. He said, I'm 21. I had more money 2 years ago, but I get your point. It's uncommon. All right. Well, Mirror, you're 21. Are you in a position? Oh, okay. Well, here's an even better point. I'm just making you guys think right now, right? You're 21 now, and you said you had more money 2 years ago. So when you were 19, you had more money. Dazn wasn't out for boxing 2 years ago. So are you in a position, if you have more money then than now, where you want to pay $20 a month right now? Can you swing that? You get what I'm saying? And that's what they have to look at. You have to look at the kids that like apps and shit are probably, I'm not saying all, but I'm saying a lot of them are probably young. So that's probably why you have a lot of in and out traffic, because kids, or like a younger demographic that would be hip to apps and Dazn and know all the fly shit that comes out, are they going to, you know, pay $10 a month, $20 a month reoccurring? Or are they going to have a short attention span? Do they make enough money where they, you know, they can handle charges like that on top of their cell phones and gas and shit that they pay for? You know, as opposed to like people who are parents, a little bit older, you know, 25, 28, 30, you know, 35, 40 or older. Usually those people have their life a little bit more together, know how to save a little bit, you know, might have kids of their own. They know how to budget. So that's the thing. And people, shout out to E. Woodson. He said, exactly, good point, Ego. I was 19 in 1998. That's what I'm saying. Like apps and stuff, people, they keep, it's the future, Showtime's dead. Not necessarily, because like I said, a lot of people that apps would cater to are probably the youth, like Twitch, things like that. I guarantee you, I'm not saying there's no like older people, 30, 35 plus, that like Twitch, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that like it that are young, you know. The other thing is this, that people keep like forgetting with this whole pay-per-view shit, right? people is like, oh, would you rather pay $75 or would you rather pay $100 or $20 a month? I'd much rather pay $20 a month for, or whatever, right? You got to look at this aspect of the game as well. Pay-per-views are whenever. It's not like we're doing a pay-per-view every month in boxing. In America, I don't know about the UK because they got a lot, but they're not. The price points are a little bit cheaper. So you have to think of the fights that are typically on pay-per-view. The companies know what they could get away with on pay-per-view. Like Broner Pacquiao, they can get away with putting that on pay-per-view. Tyson Fury versus Wilder, they get away with that on pay-per-view. You know, Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence, they can get away with those types of fights on pay-per-view. Canelo Golovkin, they can get away with those fights on pay-per-view. So anyway, anytime there's a pay-per-view, it's usually somewhat of an event. They have press tours. You can really save up for, you know, a month, 2-3 months to get the money for that one pay-per-view. But if you're paying $20 a month, that's recurring. No matter, you know, $20 a month, that's coming every single month, right? Or you come up with the lump sum of $99.99 all at once, all right now, and commit, and you don't even know the back half of the schedule for Dazn. So you have to be so satisfied with what you've received from whenever you join, which could only be from August to March, August 2018 for boxing and Bellator, August 2018 to March. You know, you be like, oh, this is just so great here. Or you get scared, and which is another thing they're trying to do, and just be like, oh, here's $100. You know, it just seems like the business plan, they didn't work out all the kinks. You get what I'm saying? He said, not basically waste the 20 and all I get to see for a month of March is Tevin. Hey, Mirror, we going in. Hold on. He said, yeah, I can now, but I still don't want to. Hey, Mirror's tripping right now. He says, yeah, I can now, but I still don't want to. I rather buy the pay-per-view and support the fights I like. He said, not basically waste the $20 and all I get to see for the month of March is Tevin Farmer versus Jonah. Listen, the thing, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, clearly the $99.99 is the better price, but you have to come up with the money for what you don't know for more than half of the year. You don't know what fights they're coming up with. So it's kind of hard to commit when you don't know what fights are going to even be on, unless you just like, oh, I got to get this $833 a month price. But I can't do that. I can't do that when I don't know what is coming. And see, in this, here's the other issue here. If you don't commit right, this is why I don't like the strong arm tactic. Here, I already broke this down, but let me say it again in case you missed that video. The thing I don't like is they're strong arming you, right? They're saying this, oh, buy $100 right now for a year, so you'll be good. So let's say April 1st you do it. You'll be good to April 1st, 2020. I get it. They say that breaks down 12 months to $833 for 12 months for a year, basically. But here's the thing. This is the part nobody's talking about. Unless I pull the trigger right now, then guess what? I'm not getting that price. Like, okay, for example, let's say I don't know if I want to spend $100 right now for a whole year and lock into that $833 shit, right? Let's say I wasn't on the $9.99 price point. So now it's $20 a month. I do know that I want Canelo versus Jacobs. I could get Canelo versus Jacobs, and if I schedule it right, and Joshua for $20. So I've already paid him $20 and it covered those fights. And let's say I canceled. Then my money's good. And then I say, you know what? This is a cool service. I like how they did the Canelo fight. I like how they did the Joshua. So let's say in August, I decide to give him $100 that covers me for a year. So that would mean I already gave him $20 for the Canelo and Joshua fights because they're so close together, right? And now I'm giving him $100, in the same calendar year, I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but that's $120. So unless you commit right now, if you buy any singular month and then later buy the annual package, then that's going to add up. So let's say you bought 3 independent months. You've given them $60 under the new pricing structure. And then later you say, you know what? This DAZN shit is pretty dope. Here's $100 for a year. You've already given them $60 for 3 independent single months. Now you just bought $100. So you spent $160 in one calendar year because you were making up your mind. That's why I don't like that. I don't like you're strong arming me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. I paid 3 individual months, $20, $20, $20. You know, I want to see Sor Rungvisai and let's say Joshua and Canelo and say there were different months. So I gave you $60 and then I'm like, oh, this shit is pretty good. This is dope. And then now I got to give you $100. Then I've given you $160 in 2019. That's how that works. And the more individual months you add up before getting the $100 annual thing, then that's gonna keep going up and up, going up. So if you buy 6 months at $20 a pop, that's $120. And then you're like, oh, this is pretty cool. You know what? Let me just get it for the year. And then you gave them 120, you got to give them 100. That's 220. What are we talking about? So basically, it's kind of forcing you to make the decision right now with limited information as to what they're scared. Like, okay, can Triple G fight Charlo? I don't know. I don't know if he could fight Charlo. I don't know if PBC is going to send him over there. I would love to fight. You know, I don't even know who Triple G's fighting. So until how can I commit? And I don't even know what those things, the outcome of situations like that. Is Wilder fighting Joshua? I would surely support that fight. You know, does Wilder get past Brazil? So it's like, how can I pay $100 right now? And DAZN hasn't even worked outside of their own platform. And they only have a limited amount of fighters that are, and I'm not saying they haven't made any fights with no one else, but I'm saying, okay, they haven't put Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis on, something like that of a big magnitude. They haven't put Joshua versus Wilder. They haven't put Triple G Golovkin versus Charlo. So they haven't really worked outside of their own immediate network on any major fight. You know, like a cross-promotional, like I said, Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia or something like that. So it's hard for me to pull the trigger when I don't know the outcome of those things. If I knew, and if they had, like, you know, like here's Showtime and Fox, they dropped 6 months worth of fights. You know, they're like, oh, Danny Garcia is going to be fighting Granados. We got Keith Thurman coming back with Jose Cito Lopez. Leo Santa Cruz will be back. And then they did the Showtime up front. They're like, oh, Broner versus Omar Figueroa. Keith Thurman was supposed to come back. Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. Won't. But here's the other kicker. Even if they did do that, which they're not, Tech 9 died. What? Where'd you hear that? I ain't hear nothing about that, bro. Oh, it's a battle. There's a battle rapper named Tech 9. I'm not sure who I'm not sure who that is. I'm not sure who that. I only know the Tech 9, the fast rapping one. That's what I thought you meant. Anyway, I have no problem supporting if I knew what the content is going to be or had some inkling. But even like I said, even if Showtime, if they did what Showtime did and had the Showtime up front and they released all these fights, guess what? When Showtime did that, Broner was supposed to fight Omar Figueroa, and Figueroa pulled out with an injury, right? And then Broner ended up fighting Jesse Vargas, which still wasn't a bad fight. I went to that. But the other thing is Keith Thurman was supposed to come back, and then he never came back. You know, so things like that happen. People get injured, people pulled out, people get arrested. You know, it's boxing. So even if they did do that up front, you know, you have to account for not every fight goes through 100%. So if I, like, let's say this would be a huge, I'm not wishing this on DAZN, but this would be a huge blow to DAZN. What if one of their major fights, you know, an injury or something happened, or someone fails a drug test? Canelo literally failed a drug test before. So I pay you $100 of my money, and I get, hypothetically, just hear what I'm talking about. You guys ready to listen to this? This is why I have reservations, because it's a new company and I don't know what's going to be on, and this is what makes me not want to commit long term if I don't know until these, like, you know, they still got kinks with the buffering and stuff like that. But that's, you know, whatever. We can live with that. But the schedule, that's probably the most important part. If you want me to break this down, can I get a hell yeah? I'm going to try my best to explain the apprehension that I have giving somebody my money up front when I don't know what I'm going to be getting, right? If y'all want that, can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? I'm going to explain this to you. Okay. And this is why I don't like them switching their business model or like their pricing structure at this point. That's why I said it's too early. All right, here. People are saying it, so I'm going to tell you. I'm a consumer. This is why I don't like them switching the pricing structure. I'm going to try my best to explain it. For me, I'm a consumer. I support what I like, you know, that I have time for, and this is what I do full time. So if it's a good fight, I'm supporting. I don't care whose network it's on, you know, and I want to support it for you guys and give my thoughts and reviews and break it down, right? I know some of the fighters. I know some of the people that work for DAZN. I have no problem with DAZN, but here's the problem I have with the new pricing structure change. Let me talk about it. Let's say I'm like, okay, I get the better price. Let me just give them $100. Hypothetically, it's all hypothetically. I give them $100 April 1st. I'm covered until April 1st, 2020 under this new pricing structure. The fight that I really want to see is Canelo versus Jacobs. I can't miss that. April 1st, 2019 to April 2020, I give them $100 of my money. You know? So let's say Canelo failed a drug test, hypothetically, or Jacob, whatever you want to say, and the fight got canceled, and then it was like a last-minute replacement. You know, Canelo ended up fighting someone else, or Jacobs had to fight someone else. You know, I already gave you $100, and then the main fight I wanted to see got canceled. Or even worse is if, let's say, the Canelo Jacobs fight was further out, but we knew about it, and then the same thing happened. So then now I already gave you $100 of my money, waiting. The calendar's pretty light. You don't have, you know, I didn't get to see Demetrius Andrade, Arturkov. Didn't get to see, you know, Tevin Farmer's fight. I didn't get to see some of these Katie Taylor fights, Ted Cheeseman, etc. And let's say the fight was in August. I already gave you $100 anticipating Canelo Jacobs. So I've spent April 1st, May, June, July, and then August. So I've spent 3 months on a prepaid deal waiting for this fight, and then it gets canceled. So even if I cancel and get a prorated amount, I've already wasted 3 months waiting for the fight that I wanted that got canceled. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? That doesn't sit well with me. That's why I need more of a proven track record from Dazn. Because if the fight is farther out and I'm sitting up here, I already paid, and I really paid for Canelo and Jacobs, and I was just dealing with this other content, and or I didn't watch the Bellator fights or some of the other stuff that they had on, and then the fight somehow got canceled, because fights sometimes get canceled close to the fight date, like Charlo's fight. I had already booked my ticket to New York, and then they said after I had already booked, Willie Monroe failed a drug test. So the farther the fight's out that we know about, if something happens to the fight, someone fails a drug test, someone pulls a muscle, and they get injured, I'm sitting up here wasting month after month, and the real fight that I was even purchasing up front for is now gone. Because it got, and there's times in boxing where they get canceled and they never get rescheduled. Diego Chavez was supposed to fight Kell Brook. It never got rescheduled. Devin Alexander was supposed to fight Kell Brook. It never got rescheduled. Diego Chavez was supposed to fight Kell Brook. Never got rescheduled. So that happens too, Or situations like Wilder Fury. Everyone thought the rematch was happening, and then it didn't. So imagine if I had prepaid Showtime waiting for Wilder Fury, and then Tyson Fury pulls a stunt that nobody knew about. I'm just saying if Wilder Fury would have been on regular Showtime, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm sitting up here paying for in advance for that, and then it don't happen for whatever reason. See, he said Josh Kelly's fight got canceled the day of. That's what I'm saying. I know boxing. Boxing happens. Things happen. So that's why I don't like giving someone my money in advance when there's so many variables. So it's like, what do? You just commit and then take that gamble? I don't like that. But on their old pricing structure is in it. You could have went in and out. You could have for $9.99. So you're like, oh, Canelo's about to fight. Boom. I'll get it. And even if you had it, a month in advance or something, it would have been the price. 2 months would have been the price that it is for 1 month now. It just seems like all over the place. Bob Arum don't have nothing to do with Dazn though, so I don't know where that's coming from. It said Bob Arum and Hearn are haters that hate seeing black fighters like Mayweather making money. They want to pocket fuck Dazn. Yeah, Bob Arum don't have nothing to do with Dazn though. He said if Dazn was smart, they would have announced in March, ending free trials and price increase to start in July. Yeah, I just think they did it too prematurely. Like we don't know enough, or at least me. We don't know enough. I don't know enough about what their schedule is going to be like to see if I want to commit to a long term. Like, okay, here's. Listen. Would you do you do that with your, like, let's say a haircut? If the barber said, give me $1,000, I'm just making a random price. It don't have to be that much, but give me $500 and I'll cut your hair throughout the year, but you don't know what days and times they're going to have available. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just give them a flat fee and give them all this money. You don't know if you're going to get your money's worth or what, you're just paying someone up front. Like, nah, bro, I can't even do it. Dude don't see the real agenda. What does that mean? What does dude don't see the real agenda? Like this, I don't know. I just feel like the things I would prepay for would be things that I know I'm going to utilize. Period. That's, for me, that's how it breaks down. And especially when fights being canceled and, postponed and injuries and different shit like that come about, and I have no control over it. Like PBC, they don't have like, oh, just give us $320 and pay for all our pay-per-views in advance. And you don't even know what fights are going to be on pay-per-view. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to do that. I would rather just wait and see what if the pay-per-view you're having caters to me. He said 20 is retarded since ESPN. Yeah, I don't know how they came up with that. They just really dumb. That's what makes me really believe that they're hurting. But like I said, there's too many unknown variables. If they had like Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, you know, Triple G versus Charlo, Triple G versus Andrade, right? They'd have to have more substance for me. I love Canelo Jacobs. You know, Anthony Joshua Miller's not bad. But that's literally all you can tell me. And Sor Rungvisai versus Estrada too. And that's just kind of a fun fight for boxing fans. But it's not, you know, it's not no major. It's not like a Canelo Jacobs. It's not like Mayweather McGregor. You know, it's not like a huge spectacle fight like that. So I'd have to know. Like, okay, here's another thing. See, bro, this is what I'm talking about. I want to know who's behind the boards of Dazn. Like, who's making these decisions. Here's another one of my problems. It's the same. I'm having the same problems. I don't have a problem committing if I know what I'm getting. Bars. The reports I heard were that Alexander Usyk is moving up to heavyweight. All right, he just knocked out Tony Bellew. Impressive. I had DAZN for that. You know, that was an impressive fight. He won the World Boxing Super Series. He's undefeated. They said he wanted to fight Luis Ortiz, which he's not in his first fight. And then now they're saying Carlos Takam, who got knocked out by Povetkin, got knocked out by Joshua, got knocked out by Derek Chisora. So he got knocked out by 3 different fighters. Cool. It's his first fight at heavyweight, whatever. But even if I wanted to see it, they're talking about making it the day of or the day before Wilder versus Brazil, a fight that I'm covering in New York. So how, you know, why would, you know, they keep scheduling fights on the same weeks of bigger fights. It's like, are there no free months, like free weekends open or some shit? I know there's a lot of boxing on, but damn, like, so for me, that's what I'm saying. With my schedule, that's a problem because I'm going to pay $100 in the front and I can't even watch Usyk versus, or I might not be able to because I'm going to be in New York covering the Brazil fight with Wilder. So I don't know. That's why I can't subscribe up front to an annual fee. And then on top of that, for Usyk versus Takam, who been knocked out 3 times, it's just not big enough for me to make that type of commitment and hope I get to see it, even though I'm in New York covering another fight week. So, you know, they have to stop scheduling much smaller fights in conjunction to bigger fights. That's another reason that hurts. Like, I would even rather, like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not trying to, like, roast or anything. But I would even rather if DAZN didn't do fights on a Saturday or, like, Friday or Saturday, and they did it on Sunday like Fox does. Like, okay, Sergey Lipinets versus Peterson was a good fight. It just happened last night. It was a Sunday. I would rather DAZN put Usyk versus Usyk versus Carlos Takam on a Sunday. Now y'all laughing. I don't know why y'all laughing. I'm being for real because then the Wilder fight's already over by that. The bigger, you know what I'm saying? The bigger fight card that you're in conjunction with is already over. See, DAZN need to pay. They need to pay me. I got the ideas. PBC puts fights on Sunday. So if you have to bow down to a fight that's greater than you, Ice Cube voice, bow down. Put it on a Sunday at least. Don't put it on a Friday. Don't put it on the same Saturday. If you have the smaller fight, bow down, you know, and you can even do the weigh-in on Saturday because the Wilder fight with Brazil, you know, if you do a weigh-in at noon, New York time, East Coast time or some shit, people will still be able to watch the Wilder fight, so it doesn't really run into it. So, DAZN needs to start doing Sunday cards. If your fight's not bigger than the fight you're going up against, then don't do it. Demetrius Andrade versus Artur Akov. I don't have a problem watching it, but if I'm covering Broner Pacquiao, it becomes harder to watch it. But if you put it on a Sunday, then I'll be able to watch it because I'll at least get to see Broner Pacquiao, and then I'll watch it on Sunday night because I'm already done with Broner Pacquiao fight week. See, I'm telling you, I'm giving up free game. Sergey Lipinets and Lamont Peterson just fought on Sunday. They could do the same thing. If the weekend is tied up with a bigger fight, like Mikey Garcia Spence, and you're probably better going after Mikey Garcia Spence because people are already in the boxing mood. You're trying to go up Tevin Farmer versus Jonu or Bono or whoever he fought, right? You're doing it on a Friday, and then Spence is fighting on Saturday. In the Spence weigh-in, Mikey Garcia weigh-ins on Friday. It just becomes a mess. You should have just did the Philly fight try to do it on a Sunday if you could, or at least some of them. Or pick a free week where there's no major fights like this. That you got to just do a little bit of research, a little bit of planning, plan better. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't put Tevin Farmer versus Jonu ahead of Spence Garcia. That's a major pay-per-view on Fox. Why do that? Like, even this week, Sergey Lipinets and Lamont Peterson was on a Sunday. So you would have just been competing with UFC. Why didn't you do that? I'd rather go out with UFC. That's a different sport. I'd rather go after UFC, ESPN with my boxing card. It just don't make sense, man. The other thing DAZN, in my opinion, messed up is, like I said, focusing on pay-per-view is dead. Fuck that, because you might have to revert to pay-per-view. That's going to look horrible. You might as well just go out of business because you came in the game saying you were better than pay-per-view. So if you actually give in and realize your events aren't, Canelo is not generating enough looks for you, and customers for life, to the point where you start putting Canelo's fights at an increased price for that month, or you put on pay-per-view, that's going to be horrible. You might as well just go out of business at that point, because you spent too much energy talking about pay-per-view being dead. It's already one thing you hiking the price up. So it just, like I said, that business model, I wouldn't have done that, because pay-per-view is not dead, and you're going to look crazy telling everyone pay-per-view's dead and doing commercials and then putting Canelo's fights for $39.99 and $59.99, or what he was charging people for on HBO. That's gonna look crazy. So you kind of box yourself in. I never do that. I don't ever box myself. If they got a good fight every month, they got me. But I'm sure most of us feel like that. Yeah, if they putting banging fights on, then yeah, people with it. It says Farmer versus Tank will not be on DAZN. And see, and this is the other thing. You put Eddie Hearn at the helm of this, and he was talking greasy about Al Heyman, and now you need Al Heyman. They could starve you out. Al Heyman got the biggest stable in boxing. That doesn't even make sense, bro. I'm just being real. I'm being real. I don't care who sees this. I'm just being real. You don't really go against, the Godfather. That don't really make sense, to be honest. Because you never know. That's like people in Texas. They don't go against Jay Prince. That man well connected. So that, to me, that's weird that one of the ambassadors or whatever you want to call him, and Eddie Hearn, is taking shots at Al Heyman, and then now you trying to sign Heyman fighters, and you wonder why they ain't coming to you. You wonder why Wilder's not signing. You wonder why won't Errol Spence come to me? Why won't Charlo sign? You talking crazy about him. You talking about, oh yeah, PBC. I promise you, I know what I'm doing. I'm destroying them. Listen, new media, tell me if I'm lying. Remember when Eddie Hearn was talking about Dazn and he was taking shots at PBC and Al Heyman saying, hey, remember PBC, they used to have these elaborate ring walks and, ring car girls and lights. What happened to that? They lost a lot of money. And he was talking about all the money that PBC lost when they first started and saying, oh, the investors, now they don't even do those ring walks. Now they don't even do this. Now they don't even blah, blah, blah. So you talk all that about what PBC did with their money and how they lost money. And then now DAZN's raising the prices. Now DAZN doubled up the prices. So how much money are y'all losing in y'all first year? See, that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. And if you got a glass jaw, you should watch your mouth. Because 50 told you shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. You talked all that about how much PBC lost. And, remember they had these ring walks. And what happened to that? Playing games, going against Al Heyman. And then now you need Al Heyman fighters. None of them are going over there. And then now we're seeing that DAZN is clearly losing money, paying all these fighters big paychecks to the point where they have to double their price. What goes around comes around. Meanwhile, PBC has been out long enough to the point where they're probably not, I can't imagine they're in the red. They're doing shows, the Fox. You don't think these Wilder, Furies, and Spence Garcia, 50,000 people, you don't think they making profit by now? It wasn't a good look to go against the Godfather. I try to tell y'all. Eddie Hearn couldn't stop talking. I seen the Fight Hype or whoever it was, these interviews. He could not stop talking about how, oh yeah, and then PBC, they were losing money and the investors. All right, well, how's DAZN doing? Where are the numbers? How many subscribers you guys got? They're not really saying that type stuff. So the conversation's switching up. Here's the other thing. What happened to Joshua's pre-sale record? I ain't heard nothing about Joshua. I literally haven't heard anything about Joshua versus Miller since they did the face-off and when Joshua pushed him. Please let me know. So Eddie Hearn came out and said they set a pre-sale record. Remember? What happened to that pre-sale record though? They said it set a pre-sale record and sold 15,000 billion tickets or whatever. Where are the tickets at now? Because I ain't heard nothing about the event. That's what I'm saying. Shouldn't throw a stone. Listen, we hold on. I'm a see now. Y'all got me.
Your role is linked with, it seems like, ever since you've had this
Listen.
match from USA is Mikey Garcia. It looks like he's going to be fighting Errol Spence. Yeah. What do you make of that? And are you still talking to him?
Yeah,
is anything
I talk to him a lot. I talk to Mikey a lot. He's a crazy guy. I mean, he's probably turned down more money, or he has turned down more money from me to fight a good fight, but one that he's a massive favourite to win.
Massive.
To fight Errol Spence for less money. And that's a terrible fight for him. But he's got it in his head that he wants to fight Errol Spence. So you have to respect that he's willing to try and be great or do these things. I don't think anyone wants a Spence fight. I don't even think the fans are that mad about Garcia Spence, Like, they'd rather see Spence Crawford. I'd rather see Garcia Lomachenko. But still, he's got it in his head. I don't think Robert Garcia wants to fight. I don't think anyone in the team wants to fight. But it seems like he's made his decision. So good luck to him, and we'll see what happens after. We'll see how many buys it does. Because as a fight, it's going to die on pay-per-view. Great fight. Small pay-per-view numbers.
That's Eddie Hearn. That's what I'm saying. All these shots. So he said that it's going to die. I mean, this is Mikey's first pay-per-view, Errol's first pay-per-view, and it did 360 to 400,000. Ain't nobody doing better than that unless it's Floyd or Canelo. So what are we talking about? He said he offered Mikey more money. So who believes that? Who believes that Eddie Hearn and Dazn offered Mikey more money and more exposure than he just got fighting Spence? When the fight did 47,500. That's what I'm saying. You just taking shots. We gonna listen to some of this shit and revisit it. You know. So what fight could Eddie Hearn offer him on DAZN? Where he made more money than fighting at AT&T Stadium with fucking Jerry Jones, Jerry's World. Please let me know what DAZN fight that could have been.
I want to quickly move over to Matchroom USA. You seem to have ruffled a lot of feathers in the USA. But
I think Heyman and Bob Arum should give me some commission on those deals that they've done on the back of mine.
But saying that, it seems to have upped the competition.
Absolutely, it's
Yesterday
great.
we heard the news that PBC have signed this deal with Fox. What do you make of your competition, so pulling the money out and, you know, all the...
It's great for boxing. I mean, for any sport to thrive, you need broadcasters spending money.
Yeah.
Now in the US, you have that. And we still have the biggest deal. The biggest single deal and cumulative deal of all of them.
Annually, is it bigger?
Yeah, ours is bigger, 125 million a year.
There's 120.
I think it's 50.
Joint with Showtime.
Showtime's 40, but
Okay.
where it's 100 million, 110 million, it's big, right? And so is ours. The difference is we have bigger individual show budget money than they do.
Okay.
But we're up at...
Okay. See, I told you they should do it. He said they have bigger show budget money. I was at AT&T Stadium. I ain't seen no DAZN fight thus far that looked more lit than that. Just listen. This is what Eddie Hearn's saying. He's the ambassador for DAZN.
budget money than they do.
Listen.
And so is ours. The difference is we have bigger individual show budget money than they do.
Okay.
But we're up against it. I mean, we're Eddie Hearn and DAZN taking on the American market against Al Heyman and Fox or Showtime. So we're the big outsiders. So don't worry about us. We're only going to fail. You know, as people say, you got no chance, Hearn. Well, don't worry about us then. Why you keep talking about us?
All right.
You know, so
going off that though,
yeah.
Richard Schaefer spoke to Fight Out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let me just tell
Is this
you.
the same guy in Richard Schaefer that said that, oh, you know, DAZN, he was critical of DAZN, and then the World Boxing Super Series, who he's supposed to be an advisor for, that he couldn't deliver any US TV for, signed a deal to be the exclusive broadcast partner with DAZN and the World Boxing Super Series. And now, I'll be interested to see what he's got to say.
So basically, he said you've not got anyone of notice. So when you announce signings, you've not got anyone of notice, and AJ won't move a needle on DAZN.
Well, Richard Schaefer is entitled to his opinion. I think Richard Schaefer is so far removed from the modern day promoting. I mean, I watched him the other day at a press conference. I nearly fell asleep, to be honest with you. I think AJ is the biggest star in world boxing. I think we have signed 5 world champions so far to DAZN. I think tomorrow we will announce a pound for pound. I think pound for pound, possibly one in the sport. Certainly top 5 pound for pound fighter. And I've been going for 3 months. So we will see.
He said Joe Joyce would be watched more than AJ would be watching DAZN.
I mean,
That's what he's told us.
I mean, Joe Joyce has about 5,000 social media followers. I like Joe Joyce, by the way. I think he's a really nice man. But I mean, they have done anyway. Yeah.
Another thing then, Golden Boy put on a show on Facebook Live.
Wow. See, I told you Eddie Hearn he was talking greasy. Listen. Y'all must have forgot.
Well, no, not really, but this is a wonderful opportunity for us.
Y'all must have forgot.
I never dreamed, even in my wildest dreams, that I would get this volume, this amount of money, and this support from a platform. So, you know, when we came to the US, and obviously we signed Danny Jacobs, we were talking to HBO, it was very clear that we were never going to get the volume of dates that we needed.
Question is this: there's been a lot of entities that have tried, I don't say come over and take over the sport, but they have their own platforms, their own deals. So my question is, with this, are you an entity unto yourself, or will you play with other, in terms of other promoters making cross promotions and trying to make the best fights possible?
I have a history of working with other promoters and other networks, so my ego is not yet out of control. I haven't been stabbed by the bitterness knife. We're not coming on air at 10 p.m. because there's a film on at 8 p.m. You know, we can do the build-up show. We can show the entire card. This is 16 live events from the US. This is 16 of our massive shows from the UK as well. Other big announcements coming from a boxing content perspective over the next few weeks on this platform as well. But this isn't just a boxing platform. This is a sports platform. Wait till you see the other sports they're going to acquire. So that will come in time. But thankfully, they have identified boxing as a sport that has serious potential, and that is why they have given.
What sports though?
And obviously a lot of money as well.
What do you think is the main difference between your venture and what the PBC tried to do, let's say, 3 years ago?
Well, they didn't have a platform. They bought airtime. That's the first thing. So they had no broadcaster paying them the money. They had an investment group that gave them the money to acquire fighters, which they did very well. But they didn't make progress with that money. We can't make the same mistakes. The difference is we have a platform behind us. So we have rights fees. Now, we don't have an amount of money given to build a brand, to sign fighters. We have rights fees to deliver shows. That's the difference. So with, like I say, bigger rights fees than HBO and Showtime put together, if I fail, I've really done a bad job.
Eddie, my final question is that we know that Top Rank has a deal with ESPN and ESPN Plus. They have their own platform. I don't know what type of broad scope it is compared to yours. From a worldwide perspective, you're now invading America like the Beatles. How do you see the American boxing market in general?
Do you know what? I think the American boxing market is in great shape. I really do. You know why? Because everybody is so competitive right now.
So he said, "Oh, the PBC, we're not gonna make the same." I told you. He said, we're gonna acquire all these sports. What sports does Dazn have? Bellator. I don't know, bro. He said the other sport. He said the other sports on Dazn will be rugby, cricket, and water polo. Hey, get the fuck about it. That's what I'm saying. Who has the Dazn app? Check. Let me know. Because that was May of last year. So what other sports do they have? Like, what do they have? NFL? If so, what teams? Like, my pops watch NFL. I never seen. He don't have Dazn. So what sport do they have? Somebody let me know. Hockey or some shit. What they got? He said they're acquiring all these other sports. Man, y'all motherfuckers is laughing. I'm dead serious. Cause the only time I've even opened Dazn is for boxing, and I did it for Bellator for the Michael Venom Page fight. I think it was, or somebody. I got Dazn right now. Okay, we know they have MMA, Bellator. We know they have boxing. A baseball show. What about the baseball games? Did they get MLB? I mean, who cares about a baseball show? You can watch, I'm sure, YouTube baseball shows. Unless they have, like, some fucking Jose Canseco or somebody. Y'all trolling, bro. Someone said darts and gymnastics. Bro, I'm not trying to see no Dominic Dawes and shit. Bro, what do they have? What the fuck is curveball? They got like dodgeball and shit on there? Foursquare? Hey, y'all tripping, bro. I am not watching tetherball on Dazn. Y'all got me fucked up. They got tetherball? Okay, Formula One. Who the fuck is it was ordering Dazn for Formula One? Yeah, man. Pool? What the fuck is pool? Like jumping in a swimming pool? Or like motherfucker, like the color of money pool? Hold on. I gotta understand. What the fuck is pool? Somebody said gymnastics. Hey, bro, who the fuck watches somebody? Are you talking about swimming pool, or billiard balls, like pool sharks, chalk and sticks, 8-ball, high diving? Hey, get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm still stuck on pool. Bro, this is America. I'm on some Donald Glover shit. Ain't nobody watching no. It doesn't even matter what pool. It could be a swimming pool, it'd be slip and slide. Nobody's watching that shit in America, by and large. And even if it's billiard ball pools, who the fuck wants to just watch people play pool? I think they have that on ESPN. Hey, y'all tripping, bro. Synchronized. I don't know why this is so funny. They got fucking arm wrestling and shit over the top. I'm Hudson Hawk. I am not watching motherfuckers arm wrestling shit, bro. Double Dutch tournament. Yeah, fucking crocheting fucking contest. Okay, get out of here. Bowling. Carpools. Hey, go fish. Y'all tripping. Old maid and shit. Y'all are really tripping. So anyway, Eddie Hearn was saying they acquired these sports. They're going to. I don't know any sports. Let me go to Dazon's website because I don't know what type of sports they have other than Bellator. I think they have hockey though. Somebody said a baseball show. The old way of watching sports is over. Stream over 100 fight nights a year featuring the biggest names in boxing and MMA, plus the brand new MLB live whip around show Change Up. What the fuck is a whip around? Look, all I see, I'm on their website. I don't see anything. What sports do you have? Hey, bro. It says boxing, MMA, and the MLB live whip around show. That's the sports that they have. So Eddie Hearn in May of last year said that they're acquiring the rights to all these different sports. Right? And we knew about boxing. We knew about MMA. I don't know what the fuck a Major League Baseball live whip around show is. What is that? What is a whip around? I whip my head when I want. Limbo. Shooting craps. They're going to have Broner on that show. Yeah, I guess they don't have hockey. Hey, bro, y'all wildin'. So, anyway, May of last year, Eddie Hearn said they're acquiring all these sports. See, that I don't know. River dancing competition. Bro, please stop. Y'all are getting too creative. Please stop. Anyway, I don't even know what this whip around shit is, but it has 3 sports. It says, what sports do we have? This is on DAZN's website. Yeah, you might have told us it was on the menu, but some people were putting. Somebody said folk dancing. Someone said folk dancing and folklore and all this shit, bro. Wow. Someone said national carpooling. Hey, bro, y'all are really tripping. A whip around equals a recap, aka sports. I don't call it no whip around. I don't be like, oh, that was a good whip around show. See, you using terms Americans don't even know. Like this first take a whip around show. I never been like, oh yeah, Stephen A. Smith has a good whip around show. Who the fuck says whip around, bro? You the boxing man ego. They got dog race. They got Michael Vick pit fighting and shit, bro. Stop it. So anyway, this is the whole system. I don't understand some of the moves. Like I said, you had Eddie Hearn, and he was taking shots at Al Heyman, but now you're trying to lean on Al. Okay. I'm trying to tell y'all the best way I know how. Eddie Hearn was the initial face of Dazn, right? For boxing, at least. He kept talking about what the PBC was doing wrong, and we're not going to make the PBC's mistakes. And at the same time, he was trying to reach out and acquire. None of the major stars, major, Broner, Charlo, Errol, Mikey, Wilder, Jared Swift, none of them left Al Heyman. Those are all guys with charisma, exciting fighting styles, Americans who, have the gift of gab. They can talk, they can fight, they can knock motherfuckers out. Dazn got none of them. And part of the reason might have been Eddie Hearn's behavior, rubbing people the wrong way, talking. How you gonna talk about Richard Schaefer and he over there working with that side? How you gonna talk about PBC fucked this up, fucked that up, fucked the money up? They had investors and they were buying time slots, and then now you're expecting to get their fighters. I just don't see how that's a functional game plan. Because let me tell you, if somebody's talking greasy about me, I want to watch you suffer. I'm not helping you for shit. I don't. If you talking crazy about Ego's army, you talking about boxing Ego, and I find out about it, or I know, I'm not helping you. I don't want to help you succeed. I want to watch you. Like, what did he say on Guns N' Roses? Axl Rose. I want to see you bleed. Like, I'm not helping you. So that was a big mistake. Taking shots at PBC, and then they're the ones with the biggest stable, and they're the ones that actually have people who are independent free agents that you might have been able to sign, but you kind of fucked that up, taking shots at Heyman, taking shots at Richard Schaefer. Bad game plan. I would have been cool as fuck with them trying to steal all their people. If anything, I wouldn't be like, oh, they were buying time slots. I'm taking over America. All right, take over America. You think it's that? You said it's going to be easy, And then I think they thought they were going to be able to acquire all the rights to NFL. That shit is not easy. They're not like, I can't just contact the NFL and then get the rights to start airing game. I'm sure the NFL is like, they make a lot of money, in NBA, they make a lot of money. It's not easy to just pick up, they got their own, like, NFL network and NFL tickets and shit, and their own distributions with satellite company. This shit is dense and deep. There's a lot. And then, like, you look at Dish Network, they got deals with them, and DirecTV, Time Warner, Comcast, all that shit, bro. It's not just easy to acquire the rights to that because they already have a long-lasting relationship. Dazn, again, like I've been telling you, is something new. Timer TV, $2 super chat. I saw 4 fights on Dazn. I made an email every time. What does that mean? You said you made an email. You said you made an email. I don't know what that means. What's the email part? Block JP Pickett. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand the infrastructure. Like I said, I can't understand needing Al Heyman's reserves, needing some of his fighters, but then you talking about PBC, talking about the mistakes they made, talking about Richard Schaefer, talking about how Al Heyman did this, talk about missed money. Oh, they had investors. And then he also spoke too soon, because if you listen to what he just said that I played for you, he said all this stuff about they were paying for yeah, they did all that to get where they were at, but then guess what? Fox just fucked with them. Fox lost the UFC. They had money, you know what I'm saying? The Fox excuse me. Fox just lost the UFC. They had money, you know, that they're saving because they're not working with the UFC. And Al Heyman fucked around and did a deal with them. And it looks like it's been pretty good. I've been enjoying the Fox shows. They just did a pay-per-view already, something that they had never did. So they probably eating, making money. So, and now this is not purchasing time slots, you know. And then Eddie Hearn, if you listen to what he said last May in that clip I just played for you, he said, we control our own shows. We don't have to hurry up and get off the air. You know, like it's an app. We can, you know, we don't have to wait for the next show. ESPN, they do have to worry about that. If there's like a March Madness game or something, then it might delay the boxing. You know, Fox, maybe there's issues like that potentially if there's programming that bleeds over, something like that. But who cares if nobody is watching this, whatever you're putting? You get what I'm saying? That's cool. You can say, you could dictate your whole time. That's because you don't have a catalog. You don't have like Fox makes money. They got TV shows that they run. ESPN has shows and, you know, March Madness and all types of shit. First takes. So yeah, they have a lot of content. So yeah, I'm sure it does bleed over. They have highlights to NFL games and different stuff. So yeah, I'm sure DAZN can stage their own times and do whatever they want. But again, none of that matters if people aren't seeing it. And that people, I'm telling you, when it comes to business, when it comes to money, I know a thing or two. Some people, like, let's say they want to do YouTube. You don't spend a whole bunch of money before you've gotten any back. You know, you start with what you need to start. Like, what's the point of me getting a $2,000 microphone, you know, expensive ass camera, expensive brand new computer, you know, redecorating the whole house, you know, getting audio drivers and getting this and paying all this money for lights. And then I'm getting 100 views on a video. You know, I have 100 subscribers, 20. It doesn't work like that. You spent all this money to set up your little YouTube studio. I got a fucking blanket behind me, and I make more money and get super chats than somebody who might have a green screen with, you know, an aquarium behind it. Who cares? That's what I'm saying. People, y'all got me fucked up. Y'all got the game so fucked up. I'm sitting up here with fucking sunglasses on. There's channels with more subscribers than me. You know, they could have intricate backgrounds and fucking murals behind them. I don't give a fuck about none of that, because I know people come to hear what I have to say. They come to hear what I have to say. They care about the content. They want to hear some entertainment. They want to hear some jokes and impressions. They want some Arnold. Hey, what are you doing? You know, they come for shit. I don't give a fuck about a mural and all this extra shit. I don't have to do all that if I don't want to. You know, so people, you know, they focus sometimes on the wrong shit. Like I said, DAZN was flying people out for fights. They didn't fly me out. You would have probably got better traction. Who's making these decisions, bruh? I got one of the biggest channels of YouTube. DAZN did reach out to me trying to promote the app, you know, but the deal wasn't like ESPN and Disney's deal. So, you know, it never worked out, right? But then they were flying YouTubers and channels out. They didn't hit me up, fly my channel out. You would have got more, you know what I'm saying? You would have got more traction like that, because I am boxing. People come to my shit. You know, I'm not, you know, new to it. Like Drake said, I'm not new to this. I'm not new to this. You know, but like I said, to each his own. You can fly whatever. Fly them little channels out or whoever you want. Hope it was worth it. That's what I'm saying. Just weird decision making. Now you doubling up on the price. ESPN's worth, you know, $4.99 a month and acquiring more. See, that's the name of the game. ESPN came out with the price point of $4.99. I don't know if it'll ever increase, but right now it's still $4.99 and they're acquiring more. Before, when ESPN Plus came out, it was kind of like Top Rank Boxing, and then they had some other sports, you know, college this and college that, and then they acquired UFC. So as a consumer, that's a benefit. If you like fighting sports and you got it for the top rank, you're like, cool. You're like, cool. Now the UFC is on board. Now MLB season starts on the 28th. So as a fan, you're like, damn, I was already paying $4.99 really for top rank fights. Shout out to, what does that say? Damn, I have a birthday, my vision get fucked up.
This the real deal. This the real deal. Easy work.
Shout out to Chill BL, $20 super chat. It says happy birthday, Ego. I appreciate it. Shout out to all my Aries. Appreciate you. That's what I'm saying. All this shit is about value. You know, that's what it boils down to. So people got, if let's say actually this applies to me. I don't remember when I got ESPN. I bought ESPN $4.99. It was $4.99 a month. I got it for either the Pacquiao versus Matisse fight, right? Or it was Gilberto Ramirez versus Jesse Hart 1. So I've had it for a while. I haven't really even noticed it on my bill, you know, so I didn't even think to cancel it or anything. And then time went on, and now they acquire UFC. So for the same price that I was already paying, right? For the same price I was already paying, now I get to see some of the UFC cards. Like Darren Till just get knocked out by Masvidal. Right? Like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson just get knocked out, and Anthony Pettis' move up to welterweight at 170. In addition to the top rank stuff. So as a consumer, that makes me happy. Yes, they're going to do pay-per-views and shit, but it makes me happy as a consumer that for the price that I was already paying, they keep coming out with more stuff. Like I said, MLB, the season starts March 28th. So that's another thing that I have access to already. Top Rank has different fight cards that are coming up, right? Like Lomachenko versus Anthony Corolla. Is it the greatest fight ever? No. But at the end of the day, it's as mandatory. You know, we do look at the career of Lomachenko. He is a quality fighter. And I'm already paying for it, so fuck it. Tyson Fury, of course I'm going to watch it because I already have it. I wouldn't have went out of my way and purchased ESPN Plus for Tom Schwartz for that particular fight. But since I already have it, I'm going to watch it. You know, just because I am interested in the heavyweight division. So you get it. I get it. Some fights are filler fight, but DAZN has a lot of filler fights. That's my problem. You know, I don't want to have this lingering on and have a recurring charge now of $20 for some filler fight. So you see, the thing is, the lower the price point, the better it is to justify. Okay, so here's an example. ESPN Plus, and I'm not just saying that because I'm Disney ego now. You do the math and you look and tell me if you agree. So we'll say from January to now, this is just off the top of my head. From January to now, I would have been able to watch TJ Dillashaw's last fight. Paige Van Zandt fought that other fine girl, the one that got beat up by her dude. She's fine as hell. The Masvidal Darren Till fight. Yesterday or the day before was Wonderboy getting knocked out in Anthony Pettis' welterweight debut. They have other UFC cards coming up. MLB starts in 3 days. And then they have the top ranked shows like, what's the name? In Fresno. Jose Ramirez just fought on ESPN Plus. So they've had like some top ranked cards like that. Lomachenko's coming up. Tyson Fury's coming up, etc. So it's like back to back. And like I said, me, if I didn't have ESPN Plus already, I wouldn't necessarily go out to purchase ESPN Plus just to get Tyson Fury versus Tom Schwartz, but I already have it, and it's at a reasonable price point, you know. And there's a lot of other content that's coming out. You guys will see, because they send me the emails now, so I'll be able to see what's available, like what's coming up. They give me a heads up now. So, you know, it's like no competition in terms of the price point. That price point means a lot. You know, $4.99, it's crazy. It's like absolutely. Look, I'm gonna show y'all. This is it. You guys, on the description of all my videos, you can access ESPN Plus, and you can use my link. It helps the channel. Look. So I know it wasn't focusing, but that's the Wonderboy Thompson versus Pettis fight. So let's say I missed it, I could just go watch it right there. It's all set up right here. Look. They got the best of UFC. You know what I'm saying? They got 30 for 30. I hate Christian Leitner. I watched that one already. Oh, actually, I need to check to see if they have the Mike Tyson. I never watched the Mike Tyson one. 30 for 30s are wet. See, this is what I'm saying. See, remember Chris Tucker on Rush Hour? And then Jackie Chan was like, oh, Beach Boys, great American music. And he's like, the Beach Boys gonna get you a great ad. And then he put that Jay-Z on. He's like, can you do that to the Beach Boys? Can you do that to the Beach? Hell nah. This is how I feel like with Dazn at the moment. Can you do this to Dazn? Like, look, this is like, for me, as a sports fan, this is what I'm talking about. Look, Deion Sanders, like little documentaries, magic moments. Like, they have actually a catalog. Look, they got my boy, Nature Boy Ric Flair. What y'all talking about? Woo! Dazn don't have stuff like that as of right now.
This the real deal. This the real deal. This the real deal. Easy work.
Shout out to Timer TV. None of the channels they threw out stand on truth. Look, if you missed like the Kubrat Pulev, that fight just came out. They were actually hurting each other. Oh shit. Hold on. Hold on. I'm just trying to show y'all how it looks. They got Anthony Yard. Oh, see, and that's the thing. ESPN Plus, they got Frank Warren shit too. That's what I'm saying, bro. Luis Collazo's fight. Damn. I haven't even been on here. See, and look, this is what I like. See, I don't know. Dazn just ain't got a catalog like this. Look, they got the interview with Max Kellerman, with Teofimo and Tyson Fury. That's what I'm saying. And Dazn, they just raised the price to $20, and they don't have the same catalog. They don't have some of those documentaries, the 30 for 30. Those are on Netflix. You feel me? Dazn, when I had it, I didn't see nothing like that. That was like documentaries that are on Netflix from ESPN Studios, stuff like that. He said, check out 42-1 and Deion Double Sanders. Okay, I'll check out that Deion Sanders. I didn't watch that. So, you know, this is the battle they're up against. Deion Sanders college highlights. Deion primetime was wet. Yeah, that man was a beast. So, you know, as a new company, this is what Dazn has to conquer. Anyway, I've been doing a marathon stream. I'm about to get out of here. Holla at the boy. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I'll be back with some more heat. We'll talk about it some more. Peace out.